Well, while they're talking in the background about how investigators are supposed to be played, I would like to tell everybody how many hero points we have left. It's not good for some of the players right now. So, with that said, Nora has used 9 of 17. Foxglove has used 14 of 17. Voss has used 13 of 18. Everston has used 13 of 14. So, Everston, you got 1 hero point left. Can never carry more than 3 hero points. Guess you don't have to worry about that. And let's talk about where we're starting tonight, I guess. We left off after all of the insanity with our team leaving the Tide Runner after waking up from a nightmare in the middle of a dinner party. The dinner party did not go as planned. They figured out they were in a nightmare and did their thing where they all go and wake up in the same place. Pulled them out into the real world in Nora's office to the doctor missing his limbs, something inscribed on the ground, them trying to figure out what's going on, fighting not 1, 2, 3, but 4 Sandmen are there, and somehow, through the magic of dice rolling, the entire cast made it out of the train. I did not expect that. I really expected to get real bad. And they even were fighting living nightmares, which is the armor that they were dealing with, which has a body in it of a person, and they used that skeletal structure with a nightmare around it to manifest and make that thing living. But Voss had some good spells in order. He forced me into a force cage, pun intended, and it got ugly. It wasn't easy. So, with that said, they all got out of the train through a broken window, and they're in the middle of Omar yelling, "Don't bring the bodies off the train."
Awesome 80 played this card. Odin, do you have
They're
any
bleeding out.
abilities to keep us awake?
That was another Ruta Oak card? Wow, we haven't seen a Ruta Oak card in ages. Omar is a very powerful individual. Now, he has had some of the most cards played the entire season. And they found some stuff out about Omar during one of our episodes that he is a very special individual. With that said, we've also had the Studium, or played, finally is completed. And that means that the Keeper of Dreams now has the area they can go and study dreams. On site right now, though, is a bunch of famous people or well-to-do people from all over Ingrad, which is the continent that we're in right now, ran by the Theocracy of the True Faith, and they're panicking, screaming, or possibly dead on a train. We don't know everything yet. So we're going to start in the middle of everyone panicking and fleeing the scene. And I don't know what the party's going to do. I'm a little worried. So party, Gravelighters, we're in a crappy situation. What's the plan?
We might need this IDK.
What's the plan, everybody?
I would just like to say, hoard his hero points. He never uses his hero points. Guess what? I'm pretty much out.
Used 4 last episode.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's the most you've used in all 3 seasons in one episode.
I have my trusty patch. I'm going to use that tonight, I'm sure.
Yep. Yeah, for those who don't know, the patches, if you buy one of the numbered patches, they come with a card that says grant 1 free hero point to a player. Those also work if you play in the Living Ethauntia games, which we're going to have more of those coming up over the holidays and into January. You can use those to give yourself a hero point during those games as well. Or another player, if you feel that they need them. So they're just kind of like your support to the show and your ability to support by using them. I just sent 4 new ones out to people, so we got some new ones floating out there the other week. So we're low on hero points. And also, Allie, your camera is very high. Like,
Oh, that's weird.
here, let me share into chat for you.
Yeah, I didn't move it.
It's just a little high. That's better, and it's off center heavily. You're like, here, let me be Allie. There. I am now Allie.
No, that makes it worse. No, that makes it worse too.
I'll see if I can fix you on my end.
Thank you.
It's because you moved your camera to show us the bookshelf.
Oh.
You know my
I
rule
did
of
that.
don't move your camera, and Allie moves her camera.
Okay, Alec,
in my
I set my
defense,
camera up every session. It's not like I'm just sitting. So.
it's not so much that my camera has moved since last session. It is that my cat knocked it off.
Sure,
Really?
sure. Blame the cat. That's what I would do
So,
Cat moved it to show the bookshelf too. I saw it.
when I showed the bookshelf, I moved the monitor, not the camera.
too. So
I
with
see.
I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
You're totally fine. I'm just giving you shit. So with that said, the panic and everyone running out of the Tide Runner, what does the Gravelighters want to do? What did they decide was the right idea? Where are we starting with this scene before we get into like all the stuff we've talked about behind the scenes? How do you guys want to handle this problem?
All
We
heads
all
Music.
put
turn to
on
Nora.
Arcane masks and join him just because it was
That is
fun.
100% an option. I'm fine with that.
No, that's not it.
No, I think
He would
we
love
need
to have a Gravelighter lantern.
I think we need to help wrangle the people trying to escape, or not trying to escape, but everyone trying to rescue people, try and show that they're doing more harm than good, at least for right now, because we don't know what's keeping them frozen. But
Okay.
obviously, taking them out is causing people to bleed out.
Yeah, there's something tied to the place. And you do, as we confirmed, you know that you are all currently in the material world. You are all awake. With that said, we did not figure out who the last person was to fall asleep.
Right.
And I'm going to help you with that right now. Foxglove, you're the only person who doesn't need to make this save. Everybody else needs to make me a will save. Or sorry, not will save, fortitude save for being tired. That includes Everston.
For being tired?
For being tired.
Serving Hands played this card.
It's your first breather since everything has happened. We all know what happens when you take a breather.
This is not how I wanted to
I got
start
a
this show.
We get our
37.
second wind.
No, you don't. So 37 for you, Nora. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
39.
All right.
If it is a success, it is a crit success,
Voss.
which is something I forgot about last session.
It's only a 32. I really don't like that.
So,
All right.
so let me write these down. Obviously, Foxglove, I said you don't have to roll. What was yours, Nora? 37, right?
Yes.
Okay. What was yours,
I was
Voss?
just calling you Nora.
32.
And Everston?
39.
Okay. Are any of you using a patch or a point to re-roll?
I'm not.
We'll say we've had.
Yeah.
I don't want to risk it.
Okay.
I rolled a 7 on the die, so I'm gonna use a
Patch or hero point.
I'm gonna use a patch.
Okay.
Yeah, it seems like now at level 15, even if I get something that's like above 10, I'm still like,
Fucking kidding
that's
me.
borderline.
Yeah.
Scared.
You rolled worse, didn't you?
I'm scared.
No, I rolled better by a point. I rolled an 8 instead of a 7. Fuck's sake.
So
Could
33.
have been a nat 1. That's what happened.
Could have been
to
a
me
nat
this
1.
Weekend.
That's true.
Well,
You,
It's happened
unfortunately,
a couple of times.
have fatigue. So, the fatigue status. Fatigued.
Yeah, I got it.
Take a -1 status penalty on AC and saving throws during explorations. You cannot choose an exploration activity. Recover from fatigue after a full night's rest. Fatigue counts towards things that Darkane does to you. Any form of rest issue counts for him. Fatigue is dangerous because exploration mode is basically all the stuff that you're doing when you're not in combat or you're not doing a downtime action. And the game is divided into those 3 chunks of time is how I would explain it. And we're in exploration unless there is basically initiative. Or we're doing a cinematic combat or something like that. Voss, I would like you to look up exploration actions. There's some pretty shitty things in there. Most of them, like you can't hold detect magic for long time frames. You can't sustain certain spells as easily. Things along those lines.
You can't. Yeah, it's a lot because you know what? I'm remembering everything that happened with Amir.
It's rough. It's rough.
Game.
Yep.
Yeah, it's rough.
Everston, you're fine. Your core is running. It fizzes once in a while, and you hear like a soul whisper, an exhaustion, but you're still up and running. Nora, you feel tired. Exhaustion hasn't taken hold, but damn, it was close.
Okay.
Maybe 1 point off close. With that said, people are panicking and running away. You see high ups and citizens from people in Ingrad, like from Cadra, from New Bolivar, from Eisenheim, and even a few people from Wolflock that have come out here for this event. How long you guys were slumbering for, if you were to look at your clock and the last time you were awake, you could try to make a check to remember when that was. But people are freaking out and trying to leave the car, and Omar has gotten grading, the railjack, or gatings, along with Earthguard circling the 3 luxury dining cars, along with the doctor's car and Marsden's car, and not letting anyone off of it. And they are forcefully keeping people on the cars as people are panicking trying to get out. And this would work if it was just regular citizens. But since you have some powerful people here, they're throwing weight around verbally and physically. For example, Black Cobra is here, and he is not going to wait on the dining car. And he is in the middle of throwing gatings out of the way. In Marsden's, you see one of the people who work for the air marshals shooting their way out. And then in the doctor's car, some of the sick patients or wounded patients that have been picked up are making their way off. 2 of them, because your perceptions are high enough, are blighted at a very far stage. Blighting is when someone has gotten, or bleak, is when someone has been in the tides for too long, has contracted some form of a curse or ailment. Those are the main things I would say you see a problem of. Khalid is on the outside. She is currently running towards you, the retired Thunderstruck Academy teacher. And then you also see Rayun and Lysynthia rounding people up and moving them away from the cars with some of the Earth Guard. There are some other new members that you've seen around that are newer people in the city that are doing their best to kind of help corral people, and they're all wearing the Dream Knight symbol. So, with that said, all of you are out together, outside of the train car. What would the party like to do? I'll move us to the train car as well. I'll move us to the Merrifield map.
Do you think we should try helping them keep people on the train? Is it still a party?
It's not a party, but if they pull them off, they start dying.
Yeah.
It is a Darkane party.
I mean, they don't have to know. It's not a party.
They don't have to know.
I feel like everyone knows it's not a party at this point. Everston, we can't have Black Cobra throwing his way through.
He's got Gatings and a suplex right now. And Gatings is large. Because he's in a Thomas.
So if these are the main threats right now, I think I should be the one to try and stop the the bleaked patience because of what I am.
Sure. I will say, out of the corner of your eye, Nora, you do still see the body of the doctor on the floor in Tenwick's office, in your office. I don't know if you want to go back in there, but I'm just keeping everybody on the same page so you know all the things that are currently going on.
So if we look in there, as we continue to be outside, is the dream still happening inside my car?
When you look inside, you see his body on there. The mouth is distorted on him in a really odd, inhuman fashion. You do see skeletons in the places where you knocked them out or destroyed them, and the door is laying in your office from telekinetic throw. So there are parts that were in that realm that do seem real looking in, but if you have dispel or you want to make some form of a perception check to see if it is real or not, you can.
I mean, we still have 10 minutes or however many minutes left on the... If we're kicking out right from where we came out.
God damn it, it's Centerfold.
If we're coming out roughly, if we're starting roughly from when we left, like when we left, then we've still got some time left on the ore. So
you do have time on the ore if you want to walk back in with it.
So I'm gonna...
Remember, though, if you go in the car and it is still active, it only works inside that dream. It will not affect them outside of it, just as a heads up. Because remember, it's you're in or you're out. There's no in between.
No, I know. Okay. But now that we're all out, it might be better. Okay, so I'm going to go. I look inside. I see what's going on. I look to the two blighted. I'm going to go to where the door was knocked or opened.
Okay.
So I can get a better look instead of trying to look through the window.
All right, so you run around to the door on the train.
Yes.
They have separated your car. The electricity is no longer hooked up to it either. It is dark in the car.
Okay.
Which it was not when you're in the inside, but looking in, it looks dark. Besides the light that is out here, there's no light inside. Everything that is destroyed looks like it was physically damaged. If you would like to give me a perception check, this is a pretty hard DC. To figure out like if it is still a dream or a nightmare situation in there, like true nightmare, or if it is a nightmare layered on the real world.
Okay.
What is real and what is fake? That's basically the check you're making.
I'm going to spend a patch because I can do better than that.
All right. I love that we're already in patch territory.
That is a 39.
39.
Yeah, not great for me.
Looking in, it is hard to tell what is real and fake from out here because so much of the stuff that you did interacted with the real environment. Unless you were to go in and investigate the body or maybe one of the armored bodies, it's going to be kind of hard to tell from here.
I turn to the group and I say, unless there's any objections, I'm going in.
And there's just panic and screaming outside, people running. Khalid would be showing up here after everyone takes a quick action.
Wait, what do you
want to tether?
What do you want to look at, Nora?
I want to see if... I'm trying to see what's going on with the doctor and see if that's related to everything else that's happening.
Oh, sorry.
She wants to go back into the train to see if it's in a dream or nightmare realm.
Yeah, I was originally going to go to the Blighted, but I want to see if what's happening in my car is real or if it's a nightmare, because if it's real, then we have to take care of that. If it's a dream, then we can focus more of our attention on everything else.
Gotcha. Eric, I thought you said something about looking at an armored body because they were wearing the armor when they came out. Can she inspect the ones out here?
They never came out.
They never came out. They're all stuck.
You were wearing it because you were stuck inside it. When I pulled you out, it fell apart.
Those are balls. I'm talking specifically about the ones that just got killed.
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
You are correct, though. There is an armored ball outside that shattered into armor after she got out. Like pieces. Think of it if a plate mail was not connected by the leather straps.
Yeah.
So, what's the plan then? She says, anyone object to her going in?
Absolutely not. I mean,
I still got a little bit of time on my suspenders too. So.
And you said something about a tether, Everston?
Yeah, I've got some rope if we need to rope her off.
Things
bring her
can't
back.
exist between the two planes.
Yeah.
If it is still intact. That is a good way to test, though.
You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna take.
Fallen
Star Wars mesh tape out.
We're all doing quick actions.
Yeah, just what are you doing? I want to know before Khalid gets here.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to my satchel of holding, pull out my cursed cold iron pen, since I never use it for anything else. Chuck it through the door.
It goes through the door and lands inside the room.
Okay. I don't think it's. And because things supposedly can't exist in both places.
That's if it's half in and out. You threw it through.
Oh.
I thought you were gonna stick it into the
I did too. I was like, I'm just gonna half it. It's like,
No, I meant
just
to
the
stick
tip.
it in.
Like I didn't know.
I meant to stick it in. I'm sorry. Work was a
If
crash
you
fire
threw it in,
today.
you're like, shit, you're done. Voss, Everston, Foxglove, Nora's in a semi-tired state. Voss, you're pretty fatigued. Did you look up all the stuff you cannot do?
Yeah, and it looks like I can't do anything.
Yeah.
It's bad. Now, if we go into combat, you can muster the strength to do it, and you just take the penalty.
Right. Well, okay, so I need to, I don't know if this was errata or not. Fatigued in the book.
I have it right here on the GM screen.
You're tired and can't summon much energy. You take a -1 status penalty to AC and saving throws. While exploring, you can't choose any exploration activity. You recover from fatigue after a full night's rest. That's what it says. That's what it says in the book. I'm wondering if it's an errata because, like, on the character sheet, when I click the thing,
Character sheets have never been updated.
And on Archives of Nethys, it says you're tired and can't summon much energy. You take a -1 status penalty to AC and saving throws. You can't use exploration activities performed while traveling. The wording is different, so I need to know which one is correct.
We're using the one I said. I don't care what the errata is. If that is errata or anything else. Correct.
I can't do any skill checks.
That's the whole point of it. You're tired. And you need to rest is what this comes down to. If combat happens, you can do it. You can still talk. You can make actions.
Yeah, but I can't use any skills.
You can't use any physical skills.
No, I can't use any skills.
I'm pretty sure you can still use skills.
If I were going to intimidate people to stay on the train like I was going to do, I can't do that.
Well, let's look up exploration activities.
I was just reading it in the book.
No, exploration activities is avoid, notice, defend, detect magic, follow the expert, hustle, investigate, repeat a spell, scout, or search. So you can't intimidate, boss.
Yeah, it's specific activities. There's a whole list of them. If you hit the I in Roll20 and type in exploration activities, it'll give you the list. They're basically specific things you can do, like you can't stealth, you can't defend yourself, you can't do concentration detect magic, you can't follow an expert because you're too tired to listen to somebody, you can't hustle, you can't investigate, you can't repeat a spell, you can't scout, you can't search. But you can tell people to get the fuck out of the way and get the fuck on the train. They're very specific actions.
So I'm looking on 480.
We're not looking at the books right now. We're looking in Roll20.
When did you buy that book, Drew? Because if that's like a first print, it's not going to be updated.
This is why I'm asking if it's errata or not.
I'm telling you where to look. Look at Roll20.
Well,
Just hit the eye in the corner, the eyeball in the corner, and type in exploration space activities.
Or go into the Discord where I linked it.
Yeah, that too. You can do that too. So, with that said, you could intimidate people if that's what you want to do. Which train cars would you do it on? Would you go to luxury? Would you go to the doctors, or would you go to the psychiatrist?
I'm gonna go to. How long are the train cars?
I don't know, 40 foot, 60 foot, depending on which one. Why?
Okay, then I'm going to stand in between two of them to try to affect as many of them as possible, because I can do this in a 30-foot radius.
Then you would just get one car, because the entrances people are coming out the sides of them in the luxury cars. Because oh no, I take that back. The luxury car is one long one. It would be one of the ends, but those three are connected. If you stand in the middle, you're going to risk getting trampled. Which I'm fine with. I'm just giving you the heads up.
Okay.
I would say pick an end or go to one car. Like the doctor's office is one car still, but it's 2 stories. Same with Dr. Marston's car. It's 2 stories. Almost every train car is a double-decker because they need space for a Thomas to be able to walk around on larger creatures. Fireball is an option. Yes, that is true, Jake Bacon.
What if we made an announcement to everyone to shut the fuck up and sit the fuck down?
So,
if you want to do that so that I can do what I'm doing, I'm fine with that, because your voice is booming like
you'd have to go to the car behind the engine. That's where everything's done for that. The communication car. And I will remind you, Nora's office is not connected, which means everything behind Nora's office is not connected.
Uh-huh.
Which is the doctor's office and the psychiatric office. But the luxury cars would be. Because of the order of the train cars. Because both the doctor's office and the psych office use electricity, so they're adjacent to Tenwick's office. So that is a good option if you want to go yell at the first 3 cars.
I'll do that.
It's better than no cars.
So you're going to run to the front of the train car. All right, what's your... You have spider climb. You don't have any additional speed, though, right? So it's going to take you a little bit to get up there.
Yes.
Which is fine. We're not in combat rounds. I'm just asking you how quickly you'd be up there before Colin shows up.
I'm curious if... Yeah, I'm gonna. This is important. I'm gonna burn a haste to do it.
Okay, cast and spell. So you're quick. So as you're running through the group of people to get up there, I do need an athletics check to get through the crowd of people. If you want to get a direct path.
And run the wall.
Oh, you're gonna run the train car?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you gonna run along the top of the luxury cars, the dining hall? There are like skylights and stuff like that into them and stuff like that, in case you're wanting to look.
Yeah.
Okay. Then when you hit the luxury car and you're running over top of them, inside there are people eating other people. That's what you see.
Okay.
Do you continue to the train car behind the engine?
Yes.
All right, that's where you're going. Everston, what are you doing? Foxglove, you're the only two that haven't taken like an action immediately to set this scene.
Foxglove, the moment that Nora was heading in to the cars, and Voss as well, she's gonna do a little pat on both of their backs and just go, look, if anybody can outwit a nightmare, it's you all. And she's casting infectious enthusiasm so that she will have a +1 to wisdom saves, and if they take it, they will too.
Does it give it to everybody or one person?
If they are within 30 feet, they can take an action to...
Once they leave it, do they get to keep it? Or do they have to be in the aura? That's my question. I want to know if Voss had it when he left and it stays with him.
So it's technically like a round action, so it would be temporary.
Okay.
You'll feel you will. I have 1 focus point left, so I can cackle once to give you all 18 seconds.
But they have to be within 30 when you do it, right?
The first time.
Okay.
Yes. No, total. Yeah, total. 30 feet.
All right.
An ally who observed you casting the spell and was within 30 feet when you cast it can take a single action.
Okay. So you're casting that, and that leaves us with Everston. Everston, what are you gonna do? Which of the 3 situations are you gonna go help, or stay near Tenwick's office? I mean, that's its own situation in and of itself, but
I think the most damage potential is from the Black Cobra, so I think I better go stop him
Okay.
from throwing down.
So when you
I know
walk
this
over,
is something that Nora would want to be doing.
Yeah.
But
I was going to, but then I saw the blighted people, and I was like, no, because I'm immune to the dark tides. And then I saw what was in my office, and I was like, no, I should take care of my office.
So when you walk over to the Black Cobra, he's got Gating over his shoulder. It looks like he's going to suplex him. He runs through the group of people and throws Gating away. And it doesn't look like he's trying to hurt him. It looks like he's moving him away from the train car. If you would like to intercept, you're welcome to do that, but I'm just letting you see the action before you make a decision.
So we want to keep people on the train, though, because if they're exiting, they're dying? Is that what
Yeah,
we're hearing?
but that's what it looks like. It looks like they're bleeding out. And sure enough, there's like blood streaming from Cobra's eyes under his mask. And he's in like a nice black pinstriped suit. Luxury car. He was here for dinner.
Well,
Sir, I'm going to have to ask you to stop what you're doing.
I'll put a hand on him.
Are you stopping him before he throws Gating? Or are you letting him
Yes,
talk?
yes.
Okay. I'm going to need an athletics check. You're going to have to physically stop him or he's going to run through. And you are larger than him, so this should be entertaining. I swear to God, if this turns into a wrestling match out here.
34.
34. So you put your hand on him. You do pause him, and he drops Gating to the ground. He turns and looks at you, and his eyes are bloodshot. It looks like the right one is all bursted. He's like, I'm stopping people from getting on the train. And he starts to run back to the train. As you see Earthguard members like pushing people in, you see one of them's hand pass the threshold, and a mob of people yank him inside. What would you like to do? It looks like he doesn't care he's being wounded. He's trying to stop people from entering.
Are these people that were on the train originally, or are they just trying to get onto it now?
Looks like it's Earthguard trying to get on to like stop people from getting off. He's doing the opposite. He's basically protecting the outside, and you guys are trying to protect the inside. He's like,
Okay.
People are gonna die if they get on this train right now. The inside is, I've never seen anything like it.
I think I'm going to attempt something that I'm very bad at. I think I'm going to try to rationalize with these Earthguard and convince them to stay out.
The best way to probably do that would be you could try to do a group, or you could talk to Venerus. Venerus is the person left in charge for the Earthguard. Venerus Glass.
Yeah,
She's the
one
abandoned
person.
champion.
Go to the one in charge.
So she's talking to a group of 4 Earthguard. She's like, all right, listen, everybody, no one is allowed to get off the train. Keep them on, shut the doors, lock them in if you have to. If windows start getting busted, push those people back in. Do not enter the car, is what she's telling her group of people. She sees you and she goes, Everston, what in the 9 hells is going on?
We're still working on it, trying to figure things out, but do not let anyone enter the train. The people who are exiting need to stay on as well. They're being injured when they leave the train, but anyone who's outside coming in will undergo the same effects.
Look, in a normal situation, we would lock them in and surround the place, but there are some representatives for the true faith on there that are, if they throw weight around, we are going to be in trouble as a city.
I'll make sure to pass that on. Thank you for your cooperation during this difficult time.
Where's Nora?
Nora Tenwick is handling a situation on the train itself that requires her immediate attention.
And where is the director of Expanse? Is Calico around as well?
Same answer.
She just sees him out the corner of her eye.
Yeah,
running
running
across.
by the top of it.
Doing the spiral run through the...
She goes, look, we have a solution to this, but it is to drive the train away from here. If things get bad, you tell the rest of your crew You get everyone on there, and we're departing the station. And we will take this directly to Cadra.
Comes to that, we will cooperate fully.
All right, guard, you heard the man. Round them up. And like they spread out and start rounding things up. There's no reason to roll. You guys are friendly with her. If you weren't friendly with her, different situation. With that said, that takes us to Khalid running up. And the only person left at Tenwick's car right now is Nora on the end of it and Foxglove. I don't think Khalid has met Foxglove more than a few times in her current form. Oh, no, you look human. That's right. You still kept the human form. She would walk up to Foxglove and go, look, I didn't go to this dining experience tonight because fucking rich people, but if we need to, I can electrify the cars and knock everybody out.
Oh, that is good
information.
It
may kill a few, but... What's a few?
I mean, you know what they say, a few for many.
They say that where?
I don't know. I'm a little bit stressed out right now.
Oh. Are you okay?
I'm fine. Surprisingly, is there anything I can do to help out?
She stands on her toes and looks inside the train car and she goes, who's the dismembered person? I could see Nora out of the corner of her eye when she does that.
So the dismembered person is, in fact, a good friend of ours, but don't worry, his soul's not in there. I mean, the situation's being handled. I think we can fix him. We should probably get him out of there, though. Nora? Nora?
I think I hear Nora calling me. I'll be right back.
Do you start walking your way over to Nora then, Foxglove? Because you're just Nora at the side of the car. You can just walk to the end.
Yeah. Yeah, I would walk around.
So Khalid would follow. Her hair's a little frizzled in the front. She's wearing her white and blue Thunderstruck Academy clothes underneath her jacket. She has her cane out and she's wearing all of her rings, Nora. You would take that in pretty much immediately. Right. If you were fatigued, maybe not. And she says, Tenwick, if you want, I can electrify all of the cars that they're connected. It may kill a few, but I can stop anyone from getting out.
It's more I'm afraid it's going to kill the people that we need.
Don't really need any of them. Let's be honest. They don't live here.
I meant more like the people who are tied into the situation itself, who could provide answers.
I don't deal with politics. It's the reason I left the academy, but I can make sure they don't get off.
It's not politics. It's Gravelighter Keeper nonsense. And with that, I'm
going to go. Does Khalid know about Gravelighter yet?
At this point, I think Nora.
It hasn't been shared,
tired,
right?
Because Kelly's tired. Well, we know at least 200 people know.
Hold on, I don't think she does. All gets to roll dice.
Nora's calling magical communication. You can't. Bye.
I gotta do something. Bye. All right.
They do now. I don't care. Let's see. Let me look at my character sheet.
I am gonna make a roll here. I don't know if she would know this. No, with a natural 1, she has no fucking idea what you're talking about. She goes, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm gonna assume it's some special investigator club you're a part of. Look, am I electrifying these train cars or not? If so, I'm gonna have Omar back the train up and connect them all. I can electrify the tracks and shock them all.
While she says that, I'm going to pull out my war lantern.
Okay.
And this time, have it go halfway through the door entrance versus chucking it like I did with my cursed pen.
How much are you putting more on the where you are or inside?
I was gonna try and do like half and half.
So you go to 50-50, it repels until more than half of it is in. That's how I'll explain it.
Okay, but then
it's pushing it back. And if you put more than half in, it starts to pull it.
And what do I see happening on the other side of the door?
Nothing.
So then the nightmare's still active.
Correct.
Even with the ore and the 60-foot aura?
If you go inside, that would be different.
Okay.
You're guessing whatever the barrier is contained inside the car.
All right.
So if you go in, you can interact with the nightmare. If you're on the outside, technically everyone should be safe from the nightmare. If that gives you a good idea what's going on in the other cars.
If that's the case, then call it. I don't think you electrifying the tracks is actually going to affect the other people in the car. Look at what's happening right now as I show her what's going on with the barrier.
Well, she goes, let me just walk in. I'll electrify the inside of the cars.
It's not. You're going to be walking into a nightmare.
Yeah, I was a teacher.
Part of me just wants to be really flippant, just be like, all right, bye.
I mean, look, dude, you had to deal with people learning to use electricity your entire life. That is a nightmare. You ever seen electricians learn the hard way? She's saying I will go in. That's what she's thinking. She doesn't know the situation. She is a very brash, action-oriented person.
Okay, so I'm gonna say if you go in, you may be trapped in the plane of nightmares.
Not her studies. I'm assuming that must be some magical, kind of like the astral?
Yes, except now it's manifesting powerfully enough to be in the material.
So it's like a rip in the veil.
Yes.
I'm okay with that.
It took this ore for us to get out.
She looks at like the ore that she's like, people are dying. We got to do something.
Let's go in together.
Well, then let's not do the car that has nothing in it. She points at your office. She goes, there's a dead body.
He's not dead. He's screaming.
I think we divide and conquer then.
All right.
Which car do you want me to go to? She says there's only the three luxuries.
Go to the doctors because the blighted are trying to escape.
Oh, Jesus. Well, all right. I will go there. And she walks out and starts running past Foxglove the other way. When she runs the other way, Everston, Voss, you run by. You see Everston talking to Black Cobra. As you run towards the front car, Omar's in the front, hanging out of the communication car. And he's talking to some of the Earth Guard. Looks like they're getting all the information together. And this seems to be like the hub where all the info is going on the train to the comms car. Everston, you're within 15 cars of it as you're dealing with Black Cobra, who's going to run back inside. So I'll start with Voss, but I want Everston to know his scene since he'll be up next. Voss, what do you want to do? You can easily get there. We're not really in time base. We're more in like a society of action base right now, kind of getting things done.
Okay.
Scenes, I should say, not action, scene based. Action's the wrong word for PF2.
He gets to Omar. He's like, I need to use the squawk box now.
We're getting ready to make an announcement. There's a bunch of information. If you'd like to give it to me, people listen to me. I'd be happy to give the speech for you.
No time. And he pushes past him and picks up the squawk box.
If you are going to push past him, I will need an athletics check. Because there's one door open right now to get in. And you would be going basically like through the roof over above him as you're trying to get through. And there are Earth Guard here. I did say that.
Sir, this is a Wendy's.
Sir, this is a Wendy's.
Oh, yeah, sorry. He's not like shoving past him. He's like, there's no time. And he will try to move past him. If he's blocking my way on purpose, then that's a different
Yeah, he's not letting anybody in. He's not even letting the Earth Guard in the comms car. My train, let me do the speech. It's going to make more sense coming from me. We're trying to gather all the intel right now before we make a talk. Or an announcement. Right?
Correct. I'm not trying to pass information. I'm trying to scare people to stay on and off the train.
Fright tactics are not the best situation when people are already frightened. Have you ever been on a car that is
I'm
running?
Trying to scare them the other way, Gov.
Let's not scare them. I can just talk them down.
All right.
Would you like the announcement on the outside of the train or the inside? And he walks into the switch box, letting you in.
inside first.
All right. The Earth Guard are like, I thought we were telling them to stay in and we were not communicating with them. Venerus said that communicating with people in the train car, and he shuts the door. All right. Mr. Director of Expanse, what's the real plan here? Because the Earth Guard have been nothing more than pylons blocking people from getting on and off the train.
I want them to... I'm trying to buy us time. If you think you can affect them with your words, do it.
I can lock all the doors if we back the train back up, but I was told to keep this separated.
Who told you to keep it separated?
The Venerus said to separate the cars so that they can deal with each situation on their own. But if I connect all the cars, I can lock every room.
Do you know what's going on?
I know that there is issues. He looks at you. Now, remind me as the GM, you know what Omar is.
As in...
Omar himself. You guys learn through the Keeper of Dreams what Omar is.
She told us.
Yeah? Does Nora remember?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Voss remember? Would you like to do a recall knowledge?
I know he's ancient. I can't remember if he's... Yeah, I'll do a recall knowledge.
I would say probably... His planes fall under arcane, correct? Planes is arcane? Give me an arcane roll. You're good at this.
Nat 20.
Yeah, he is a manifested dream.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
He's like, I have an idea of what's going on in the cars, and I know that these pass, is what he says. Normally, they pass.
Well, right, maybe you haven't.
Yeah, of course, I'm right here. And he, like, touches you, and, like, does the beak fever tech to see if you're sick.
Everyone on the train is trapped in a nightmare right now.
In a nightmare, yes. But nightmares pass. Even if they manifest, they're not forever.
Right, but that means...
Bag, do you want me to reconnect the cars to speak to everybody? Otherwise, we're only talking to the luxury car for dining. Those 3 cars are the only ones, and obviously everything in between, but those parts are empty. We only had the luxury open, the sales area. Tenwick's office was connected simply because I was told to never disconnect Tenwick's office from the Azure Order coil car. Those are still connected together, and then the doctor's office and
actually Tenwick's office is disconnected from everything right now.
I did not do that.
But in reality,
I'm pretty sure I know you didn't.
He's like, then we need to back up, or you're speaking to only the luxury car. So do we want to test this with the luxury car?
Yeah, that'll work.
So he puts the button down. What are you wanting him to do? Or do you really want to talk and he assists you? I'm fine with that too. He says not to intimidate into diplomacy. Persuade. Really, Foxglove. Foxglove should be up here, really. Is what it should be.
It's not how this power works.
Oh, you're using a power? Then use your power. He doesn't know. So he hits the button. He's like, remember,
I tell
keep
him,
it
I'm like,
kind as he's talking to a Volk.
I say, use your elbow and cover your ears.
Use my elbow and cover my ears. Why?
Use your elbow to press the button, cover your ears.
He grabs earmuffs off the wall and puts them on.
Okay. That's okay. That'll work. So occultism of a 47.
What are you doing? Before you tell me.
I
I don't know what you're doing.
I know. I am using disturbing knowledge.
Is that did you put it in chat?
Yep.
Well, let's go back over to the murder page. Hold on. I don't know what this is. Have you used this before?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. It's a skill power. Yeah. It's a skill feat.
Yeah.
Well, the target is so I have to make a save.
Yes.
Is it versus what you roll?
It is. Let's see.
I don't even think you have to roll. It's a 2-action thing. Target is unaffected. Save success. Target becomes frightened 1. Critical failure.
Will DC of an. It's against the will DC of an enemy within 30 feet. Since I'm using the squawk box.
Oh, okay. It is versus my DC. Okay. Well, that's high.
And
your roll.
If I am normally it's 1 target, but I can affect anyone within 30 feet because I'm legendary.
Yeah, you're using this as an amplifier. I get. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
Well, it's a critical success, but the problem is you're frightening them, and it gives them the frightened condition. So, let me add to the fucking horror. Good job, Drew.
Well, it also makes them confused for 1 round.
That'll stop them from maybe eating things.
So I do that, and then as a free action, I also want to say, "Wow, everyone wake up."
I don't really know what that's going to do right now.
I mean, it's worth a shot. Basically, I'm trying to counteract the frightening of them trying to get off the train with them steering them to stay on the train.
You're trying to be more scary than the Keeper of Nightmares. You're trying to Batman the Keeper of Nightmares. You're trying to be scarier than Batman.
What did he say? You don't want to know.
Yeah, exactly. I will say, Everston, when we cut to you from outside, you see the inside of the train car, everyone freaking out and panicking. Some people are covering their ears. Other people are still eating dinner. Other people are fighting each other now. The Black Cobra stops at the doorway and looks to you and goes, "All right, man, it's just one more round. It's just one more round. Okay. And he gets himself ready to run back in. What do you want to do, Everston? I'm going to tell you, Voss definitely made it worse.
Fuck.
I'm so glad the doctor's cars.
I was frightened 1 from the nightmares. I am now frightened 3.
I'm very glad that the doctor's cars were not connected, because then we would have had blighted and insane patients freaking out and trying to escape.
Omar looks at you and goes, "I don't think that worked." And he opens the door, you hear screaming outside.
Oh man.
Well, Voss, good attempt. You added to a condition that was there. You didn't know that was the condition because you're never scared of anything.
I mean, they wouldn't be frightened 3; they'd be frightened 2.
I'm already frightened 1.
Yeah, I know. So
you critically succeeded.
Yeah, but that doesn't take it up to frighten. Target becomes confused.
Oh, sorry, confused and frightened 2. Again, you're arguing a logistic that doesn't matter. They are scared and confused.
You still made it worse.
It's still made it worse. Doesn't matter. Voss, what would you like to do?
Is it Everston?
Are you staying or going? Are you staying in the train car before I go to Everston?
Okay.
No, I'll leave.
Okay, so you're getting ready to exit.
I wanted the crit so that I could confuse them to get them to stop doing what they were doing.
No, confusion is they do. Confusion is odd, but some people did stop eating people.
That's good.
So people started fighting each other. Everston, you see the chaos and pandemonium. Standing next to Black Cobra. Cobra's like, I'm going in.
From what we've experienced in the dream realm, if these people are asleep, can't believe I'm saying this. Hurting them might wake them up.
Well, I'm good at that.
Be gentle about it.
How gentle? Never mind. And he...
Don't. No permanent injuries. How about that?
He runs into the room. Are you following or staying out here? He runs into the train car.
I'm gonna go in as well.
Immediately when you walk in, I need a will save.
Oh.
You feel a disconnect from where you were, and you can feel that kind of darkness washing over you again, like it was in Tenwick's office. Voss did not feel that going into the other one. 39. You seem okay. He grabs the first person by the door, by the arms, and swings him into 4 other people, and lets go. That's his first 2 actions. His next action, he steps in, grabs someone fighting another one, and puts him into sleeper hold. What would you like to do?
I want to position myself where I can reach as many as possible, and then be prepared for the next turn.
Okay, so you're just at the doorway, kind of hunkered down.
I want to be able to reach as many as I can.
Inside the room, the dining car looks like, once you're in here, you made your save. It is definitely a strong form of illusion, I will say. There is normal food on the table, just like you all saw. When you were outside, you could see that they were eating people. Inside, it looks like they're eating ham and skyfish and...
Just like it was for us.
Exactly like it was for all of you. Chaos is set in. People are panicking. Some have crawled underneath tables. Other ones are fighting each other. And he seems to be trying to separate the people fighting each other and eating people. He doesn't seem to care about the people who are scared. That's already kind of where you need it to be. Like, fucking be scared under a table. Please stop eating the food and beating each other up. So you ready yourself in the doorway. Anything else you want to do before I pass the cam?
Nope. What I need to do is going to take up my whole next round. So
okay. All right. Nora and Foxglove, you two are together. Khalid runs away from you all, heading towards the doctor's office to take care of the blighted patients. What are you two going to do?
You coming in with me, Foxglove?
Absolutely.
All right, stay in the aura.
All right, so you guys both walk in. There is a dampening of the aura immediately when you walk in. It's not enough to like snuff it out, but you can feel pressure on it. Like when you feel a pressure when you're going into the mountains or diving. It feels like that, but it's your skin. It feels like it's being depressed and pushed like acupuncture. Okay. The aura keeps it off. There's no will save needed. And you walk in the room, it looks exactly like it did when you're on the outside, except you can now see the floating blood around the appendages like you did before. From the outside, it was flowing out of him. Okay. And the inside, it's all pooled and kind of staying at the cut off arms and legs. His face is missing instead of the jaw just being overextended. All the things that are destroyed are real. That is there. The force cage that was shattered, there's no remnants of that anymore. That would be gone at this time. And then there is the 2 pieces of armor in here that were slain by you guys before. There is that glitter dust everywhere still. Have fun cleaning your office. And no sandmen anywhere in the vicinity. Just piles of sand from ones that were defeated. And sacks. There would be sacks still, because they were like sack people. They weren't even like normal sandmen.
Do we see any sign of the doll? And
would you like to make me a perception check? That's a very good question.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was gonna also start looking for pieces of the doll.
Okay, so both of you can make it. That's totally acceptable for this.
Okay. I got a natural 20.
Okay.
So that's a 47.
Okay. I have 2 pieces of information, so we'll see what she rolls. I want to hear what Foxglove gets as well.
And that was a 36.
Between the both of you, quickly like moving through the office, there's a lot of parts that seem like they've been damaged from the fight. Nothing seems out of place to Foxglove. Nora, you would notice some books that are slightly askew as you're looking for the doll going through things. But nothing has been disturbed enough to like hide a piece of a doll part. When you get to the body, you notice that where the cuts are at, there are tattooed marks of doll appendages, like at the joints of his body. And they are cut in half there, but you do not find doll parts in here. And you've never seen him with like a shirt off in public before or anything, and he does roll his sleeves up with the, they're like here. He wears gloves all the time, but he's got like tattoos where it's severed at the joint and there's like a doll drawn hand, like the top of the arm is like at the bicep of a doll.
It's almost like like Build-A-Bear.
Kind of like a Build-A-Bear, yeah. Okay. I will say that the ink is not fresh. It is very old ink. That gets faded to that like ballpoint blue. Allie's like, I know those. That's time to get your ink touched up. Is there anything you two of you would like to do with this information while you're in here, or anything else you'd like to look for? Since we're not we're in scenes, not an action economy, really.
So because of like the nature of what I am and what he is, does he have the white porcelain cracks and scarring where his joints are?
He does not.
Okay. So I tell Foxglove, whatever happened to him with this happened to him after he turned into an abandoned.
I take that back. You're walking near him with Grimoire.
Yeah.
You would see once you get close to him with the Grimoire, yes, you would see the cracks and the porcelain abandoned stuff.
Okay, so then never mind. Scratch that. I say this happened before he became an abandoned.
Yes. And you have always been able to see the abandoned nature of him. When he like took his mask off for the first time, you could see the cracks and stuff.
Right.
But now that you think about it, in the real world, you don't think you've ever seen him look like an abandoned. It's only ever been in a dream or a nightmare.
Okay.
With that natural 20, I will 100% give that to you.
Okay.
He's never been an abandoned in the real world.
Could I roll like an occult to see if I recognize any of the tattoos?
Those are the only pieces of ink on him, are the joints and the body parts. There's one at the neck for like the doll's neck that's around, actually be around the back of his neck when you kind of lift him, and then his arms. That's the only places that there is that. And there's a line around his face where, like in the shape of a mask.
Okay, in that case, could I roll to see if I know any associated spells or rituals?
Yeah, it'd be a cult.
Yes, perfect. That's what we like to hear.
That's what we like to hear over here at Foxglove Nation. A cult.
Foxglove, do you want me to assist you?
Yeah, you're there.
That would be wonderful.
100% you can do that.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to start the night off with a patch because I went.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm not going to get that with a 27 or.
What a shame!
Wow. So with this is gonna be dumb. With my 2 on the die, I crit. So I give you a +4.
Oh my god!
I think I'm legendary. I'm legendary in occult.
Yes. Okay. Cool. So that is going to be and I rolled a 40, so that's going to be a 44.
For those following along at home, Nora is rolling a 1, a 2, and getting a crit. That means she has to be 10 higher than the DC, which is a 20 to aid. Why am I here if everything she does is just a crit? Just saying.
Rogue got a salary, man.
Rogue got a salary.
Most worthless class ever.
F tier.
So, Foxglove, you used the patch. Great. What did you get with her +3 on a 2 on the die?
They're only useful if they're in a campaign where they're useful.
That was a 40. Sorry, 43.
43. Okay. And what is your question you want an answer to with the occult?
Looking at these markings, do I know?
It's a +4.
Oh, +4. That's what I thought you said, and then I heard.
You rolled a 2 and gave double the number you rolled on your die.
Yes, because I'm legendary, so I crit. I get a +4.
High level PF2, baby. What can I say? Anyway, again, I'm sorry, Foxglove. GM just being surprised. What is your question for me?
I don't know why.
So looking at if I'm recognizing the spells or the ritual that were used to make this
It is a
happen.
ritual. You are correct. It is a ritual to take someone's soul and prepare it in witchcraft. Prepare it to be fettered to a doll.
Okay, that checks out. So now we
It
just
is
need a fun
specifically for that. And it's specifically made for on death, your soul auto fetters to the doll. So instead of your soul floating around in the material or someone having to come capture it and fetter it to an object and put it in the doll, it is just ready to go.
Okay, and no additional action or anything. I just want to recap from last session.
Mm-hmm.
When I observed his body, granted that was in the nightmare, to see if he was there. It was just a shell. Was that
Correct.
like a corpse shell? Or you said it was suspended, like, okay.
It's somewhat, so it's a little different because if he is an abandoned, it's a shell. It's an undead body that a fettered creature, a soul goes into to animate that undead corpse.
Okay.
If he is an undead or not, right now that's at question because of the Grimoire being here. You've never really seen him in the material look like he was one.
Okay.
So, but now that we have the Grimoire, we can see the porcelain cracks. So
correct. You do know the doctor is for sure an abandoned.
Does that also does that imply that the time when I went to go see Baroness Brass and he came with us was also the nightmare?
Good question.
Okay.
With that,
let's swap camera.
Well, that,
hold on.
It's important. Voss, I need to know your passive perception.
32.
I need to know where you keep the mask for the doll. On you. It's in a bag. Isn't that what we said last game? Excellent. When you walk out of the train car, because you said you're leaving, correct?
Mm-hmm.
You feel your clothes snag on the latch to the door that slides. You know, you slide it open to get out. You walk out and your robe snatch. When you look back, the bag with the mask is gone. And you hear tiny footsteps running from the scene.
Oh.
Now I would like to ask you what you want to do. Well, Omar did not see. Omar goes, "Where are you going?" Like turns to you and takes the headphones off. Like basically he's got, so when you're shoveling, the train engine's loud. They have headphones up here hanging. He hangs those back up. Where are you going? Did it work? And he hears these screaming. He goes, "That doesn't sound like it worked." And he walks back over to the squawk box to start talking. Now what would you like to do? Mistakes happen. It's all right. You don't have to be perfect. Not everyone's Nora.
I'd like to see, right? I'd like to see fucking MVP. I mean, I'd like to see if I can figure out who ran away with the doll head.
It ran into the train cars that are attached past the comms car. So going towards the luxury dining cars. There are, let me look at my map. There are train car 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 cars. 1, 2, 4 cars between the locomotive. Then it goes comms car. The next car is the Iron Pools, which is the bathhouse. A box car for Blue Demon merch. A covered hopper, which is for dry bulk, usually salt. They want it near, in case the engine needs help. And then it goes into the dining cars. And there are 3 dining cars.
3.
Yeah, because it's so big now, because we've had so many cars played.
Oh, okay.
So the footsteps ran into the train or like alongside of it?
Inside.
Going after it.
I've wanted to use this thing for so long. All right, so you're going to chase after it. With that said, I just need an athletics check. You are very tired. If this was not an athletics check, if you were not tired, I would not make you roll this. But you're fatigued. I want you to have to roll.
Use my other patch.
Okay, another patch down.
Fuck you.
Are you using Ethauntia dice?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, there's a new set
four
coming to you to
times.
help you out.
They're not for this character.
Damn it.
Yeah, I rolled a 4 both times, so that's only a 20.
So you start chasing and you feel the exhaustion kind of wash over you. As you open the train car into the bathhouses, you hear the wet footsteps. And at the end of that train car, you see the door open and there's a small silhouette and it turns back and there's just a glowing purple like aura in the face of this little tiny creature as the door shuts.
So I wouldn't have had time to cast a spell when I saw it?
No.
Okay.
No. If you would like to cast a spell, like chase after it and go to the next car, maybe. If you would have made the athletics check, I would have said yes. But you had to move, open the car door. It was shutting the car door. So that would have been a move and an action open. You would have one action left if we were in an action economy environment.
Well,
So-
I'm also hasted right now.
Oh, you are hasted. Ooh, I would give you a chance to cast spell, then I forgot you're hasted. Absolutely. I forgot you were hasted.
Okay.
Do you know what spell that is, or should I switch camera for now?
What spell I was gonna cast?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was gonna fucking hit it in the face with magic missile.
All right, magic missile me. Go ahead. You better kill me.
How many? Wait, so I have 2 actions left or 1?
So you used one. Basically, you moved, so that would be your haste action. You open
Right.
a door, and now you'd have 2 actions left. If we swap to basically an action economy for you right now, so you can cast your
Cool.
spell.
All right, I'm gonna.
Which is enough to cast magic missile with 2 actions, whatever that gives you.
Yeah. So
I'm a little
that's gonna
worried.
be-
I didn't expect magic missiles to hit me. That is your like go-to spell. That's so good.
PF2?
It's so good. in
Fuck
PF2.
yeah, it is. It's great.
So yeah, isn't yours like a burst of feathers and then the magic missiles go out?
No, it's like they're kind of. They kind of look like mirages, but they leave black feathers in their wings.
Oh,
so
that's what
how
it
you can
is.
tell
In the
what they
wig.
are.
Gotcha. All right. Well, while you're looking up your rolls and damage, I will go to Everston in the train car. While you're looking that up, Everston, a black cobra is just throwing people around, trying to separate it. Blood's trailing down his face. He doesn't seem to care from underneath the mask. As he puts the one dude in the sleeper hold and finishes it and drops them, he looks up, he jumps and grabs the walkway to the second floor and pulls himself up to the second floor. Because there's 2 floors in this dining car. Whoa, people are panicking. They look at you, and you can see their faces are all covered in blood. A few people have started cutting their own faces off. What would Everston like to do? No one looks like they're trying to leave the dining car. They're too busy beating the shit out of each other. Probably because they're confused. And you are not an edible subject. Yet.
You are all asleep. This is a dream. You are hurting each other because you're asleep. Allow me to help you, and I'm sorry.
And I'd like to use Whirlwind Strike to bonk everyone non-lethally.
Too much horny. Bonk.
Are you hitting them with your shield? Or just
my-
backhanding
no,
them?
Just my hand.
Giving them the front of the hand? The
Give them the old Spider-Man.
the pocket head flick! Give me
I would like
a roll.
To do minimal damage because I do a lot.
I
even
don't
if it's
think you
non-lethal.
get to choose that, do you?
Well, it's non-lethal.
Take
so
off
maybe
It's
they
not
won't
lethal,
fly.
that's
Wrap
fine.
it around your fist.
Yeah, you can just do non-lethal. Like you can choose to when you hit somebody in Pathfinder, if it knocks them unconscious, you can decide if you're killing them or knocking them unconscious in PF2.
Okay.
So you're just smashing,
Or waking them up. Either way.
or
So yeah, I would like to.
or
I'll roll
unconsciousing
once.
them more.
I think I roll once and it applies to everybody. I'm just
I'm pretty sure it does. Serving Hands put an emote of a hammer with a smiley face on it, the bonk hammer.
nice.
That is amazing.
It says make a melee strike against each enemy, so maybe I do have to roll for all.
Well, I'd say you could probably hit 10 because you have reach.
Okay,
Just
that's why I
a
said
real deep sleep, boys and girls. Just a real deep sleep.
is close to as many. So okay, we'll
Right,
do
right.
quick 10. Oh my god. I'm just gonna write this down.
You're just writing the word murder down?
Yes.
Yes.
3 times.
Perma sleep?
500 times.
Nap time.
Nap time. You just writing down nap time? I need to make that an
Call
emote.
this train car the shoebox.
We need to make
Does
it.
this smell like chloroform?
Ooh, oh no, I just dropped all my dice.
Okay, one of them's pretty squirrely. I missed with that one.
Did you really? You missed somebody?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Did I miss them or did I just roll?
I don't know. What did you hit?
My bonus of.
There's only one person I'm
Plus.
really worried about you being able to hit in this car successfully. So
Yeah.
Two
a 30
people.
is my bonus with a 1 on the die. So if
I'll say that's the lesser guy right next to you. He catches an elbow in the head. So what's the highest roll?
I have 2 natural 20s.
Done. We'll use that for the big guy. As it comes around, you see a man round a corner. He's carrying the heads of 2 people. One of them is the botanist that he throws on the ground.
No.
And the other one is of Terry, and he throws it on the ground.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
The man that is standing there is wearing a metal mask with a mouthpiece out, and he's got 2 clawed hands. And he's in a purple and black scale mail armor.
White noise comes out from the speakers.
What's the damage?
It's I don't have the shield out, so it's not like magical damage, so it's only a d6. No. Wait, no, I've got the
Yeah, you do.
2d6 plus 13.
And they're crits, right?
And they're crits.
And those 2 are crits. So
Okay.
So we do our max, which
Okay.
is 12 for the first half, and I rolled another 11 on top of that for a 23 plus another 26 would be 49 damage on that guy.
You blast that dude as he tosses the head, knocking him backwards, and he like puts his hand down. He starts to stand himself back up. When he does, behind him, you see someone slide from the ceiling, like drop down out of the stairwell and grab him around the throat. I made my stealth check. So Black Cobra's got him in a chokehold.
Cobra. All right.
He's sneaky. He's a snake. And he's holding him and choking him out right now. The heads roll towards you. I need a will save from you, please.
It's middling.
Not the right
35?
music. What was that?
35?
Are you happy with it?
I'm not happy with any roll. It's not a nat 20 these days, but
Right?
I'm gonna have to.
Again, I will remind the crew that an average DC, you guys are 16 or 15?
15.
That's a 34. That's an
Then
average
I will-
DC. Difficulties increase by 2, 5, 10. That's how much gets added to DCs to increase difficulty. A 2, a 5, or a 10.
I'll spend my patch and reroll.
Okay.
For 1 point less than what I just rolled.
When the heads roll, Terry's mouth opens and casts a spell. I need a fortitude save. The first part was to see if you could see through the illusion. I was giving it to you because you haven't seen Terry around.
This is 45.
35. It casts slumber on you, but you do not fall asleep. With that said, I'll take us back to the investigating duo, Tenwick and Foxglove.
I knew.
I'll get to you.
That wouldn't. I knew
Okay.
that wouldn't be Terry because Sunburst would show up and probably
Magically just show up out of nowhere. What the fuck?
she makes her
Yes.
stealth roll and she sleeper holds you on.
She just slides up on a camera. So give me what is Tenwick and Nora? Tenwick and Nora, like your 2 people. What is Tenwick and Foxglove doing before we see
I'm like,
if
that would probably be a more effective duo, but
Yes. Yes, you now have an Eidolon named Tenwick, and you are Nora.
Got him. So, okay. So we're sitting there, and I'm like, all right, so normally, Foxglove, when I am put under and I am injured to the point of unconsciousness or risking death, my body actually turns into a corpse and my spirit be floating outside of it. Mm-hmm. So if he doesn't have a spirit floating outside of it, it has to be trapped somewhere else. And the damage that's being done, I'm assuming, isn't enough to take him to the unconscious point, because then his body would turn into a corpse.
It's gotta be the doll. It's gotta be the doll.
So okay? He has to be in the doll. What I'm thinking, and this is going to sound like, this is gonna sound horrible. I'm wondering if it might be worth letting him get to that point, because then he should turn into a corpse and stop bleeding out. And then from there we can try to stabilize him. But I also don't want to do that until we search the rest of this place to try and find the doll pieces. And there's something else that I want to try and do.
Okay. I'm here for it.
We need to go upstairs to the second floor.
Oh.
I
will say, if you're both transitioning and running upstairs together, Prith is in the hallway. There is just items from like curios to clocks just littering the hallway in here from his doorway. And he has the Lady of the Tides pinned against the wall.
Jesus Christ. I'm going up for sure. Are you coming with me, Foxglove, or you want to try and search my office that is currently trashed to try and find doll parts?
She looks over at this dismembered corpse of the doctor, and you just see her wince, and she goes, I'm coming with you.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, I'm never getting married again. I thought for sure that was going to be the words that came out of your mouth.
I mean, not to that guy.
You don't know if everything else has been cut off, too.
Hey.
Oh.
Hey, by the way, I did find something for this episode.
He's a Ken doll?
He is Ken doll. No.
There's just nothing.
No. So are you going up with Nora then, Foxglove?
Absolutely, yes.
All right. So you make your way up there. That is the scene you two see, as he's got his hand, like, he's got two fingers around her shoulder blades, like around through her throat. So like through her throat, his thumb is underneath her arm, and he is large and in dragon form inside, like crushed in his room, grabbing her.
Does this appear to be the real Prith?
You know, you can only see the arm and like a snout out the door.
I'm going to step forward with the aura because we've seen things change as we come within.
That's true.
So I'm going to shout out, Prith.
When you get close, Prith stays the same.
Okay.
But the Lady of the Tides turns into your favorite vampire. As he's crushing her right now. Now you see the Eidolon beating on his arm, but he's just ignoring it.
Count Chocula, no!
Olivia, what's happening?
Prith goes and pulls his hand away when the Grimoire gets near. He's like, I'm so sorry. And she's like, and you hear bones like popping back into place. It's like, why are you crushing the blood out of me? What the fuck is wrong with you?
You looked like the Lady of the Tides before we came closer.
This entire train is fucked and I can't leave.
You might be able to leave with us.
I can send my Eidolon out, but I can't leave. I get barred. I'm not allowed to leave the train. It's like I'm not invited into the world.
What do you mean you're not invited?
I can't leave the train car.
Right.
With that, we're gonna go to break. So we're going to break on that.
Okay.
All right, everybody, we'll be back in a few minutes. Enjoy this as I just broke Nora's brain. We're back in 13.
You and his suit's got him all.
He can't keep it that way. He wouldn't be able to breathe. It's only for photo shoots.
Oh, okay, my bad.
So he
Gotta keep it tight.
he gave it tight. So he moves out of the way. So we broke Drew. So you can see. So you can see the data, and you were wanting.
That's fine, Nim. I have the comms open for
listen,
everybody.
can I spend it? Can I spend it? Is it money?
It's money.
Is that an actual gold apple? She like leans in.
I mean, I could try biting it. But
is it real gold? Sure. Hey,
can we just convert these to bars so we don't get a bunch of questions?
If it's sellable, no, because then they know. I mean, you don't want to get caught. Be like, who paid you? Well, I got gold apple slices. Like, Frogger Force. She's good. She holds on for dear life. She's holding onto that horn and the inside of that lean-to for dear life. No, she's like, you know what? I've killed people on a Zeppelin before.
35.
All right, you're good. And the ship takes off, heading northwest. How long do you want to do this for? Because that is going to determine how many checks we're going to be making. So we're at the height
Do
of
we
the
have
storm.
her for the full hour?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Double kill and I got taken out. What a dick.
What the f got me? Ow, sniper.
Come on, 6 more kills, guys. 5 more. 5 more.
Jumping
Good
back in.
2, 1.
Boom.
Nice.
Oh, what did you get, Adam? What was your damage? How much was it?
I was told there would be cake.
38.
38.
131. 262 damage as you are slashing away, finger guns going. He's pushing himself off the wall, both hands in the air. The first slash cuts off one of the arms as a chainsaw goes across the waist. Cuts him as he bends over. You hook it behind his head and pull it into the blast. Doubling the damage to 262. I had 20 points of shield that I was going to recharge and mega charge for 40 this round, but I didn't get to go. And I have exactly 240 hit points. As you obliterate a hole through the head of Anubis. Arm falls to the ground, and he didn't even get to leave the pit, as there's just a geyser of purple green energy that. But you're gonna stealth follow them. Well, you don't need to roll. I just need passive because you're more than 30 foot from them. So what's your passive?
Okay, so my passive stealth is a 31.
All right, piece stealth, Sonora stealth, 31.
So you guys is here like, okay, so here's the deal. I did a little bit of thinking. It took me like maybe 30 seconds. I'm not sure. I'm still discombobulated from being asleep for 18 months. I feel like we've got like between a day and a week before they actually do the ritual. Apparently they've just been like doing walkthroughs. I'm not sure what they need exactly to complete this. Yeah, tech rehearsal, kind of. I'm thinking the leader is using either a book or a scroll or a ritual. So, Foxglove, I might need to pick your brain on that, depending on how much time we actually do have. Oh, hold on. I got snow on my face. I'm trying to stealth behind.
Forward to landing and arrival, unless anybody has anything very important they want to do on the ship or a scene they want before we leave.
Yeah, I was in the kitchen making oatmeal.
You're making oatmeal?
Yep, making human oatmeal.
Are you making it with crash milk?
Yeah, you know, somebody Azuka had mentioned crash milk before, and I'm like, I'll give it a shot.
So it's like muscle milk, but for energy.
Yes.
In my brain, it's just like carbonated milk, and I'm just real gross.
Yeah.
Like a tangy carbonated milk.
Say carbonated milk on air. I don't know. I'm gonna get banned for that. Nobody wants to hear that.
Just as good as homemade yogurt. Oh my goodness.
So as you're pouring it's carbonated. As you pour it in, it's flat at first, and you stir it, and all of a sudden it starts bubbling, and like all of the Fruit Loop. Oh, who's this fucking guy?
We have a drain brandaged cinder.
A drain brandaged?
Hi.
That's not what the screen says, man.
Drain damage. Oh, I didn't even realize Todd did that. Oh my
That's why I've
god!
been laughing the entire
You didn't
time.
notice that? Holy
my
shit.
Todd,
god!
Todd, I noticed it.
I
saw
because
you.
it's so small for me on the screen.
Max. So that's
Kasha,
23.
Kasha sits next to you as you're doing stuff, and he goes, yeah. So, no, not that button. Yeah, that one. Yep. No, that's the scan button. He's like sitting in front of the screen, blocking your view, and he's like, yep, that's the right one. Yep. Oh
How is
shit!
he
And as he
blocking-
moves out of the way, you can see all the data that you had.
How's he blocking the view when his suit's got him all?
He
Wait.
can't keep it that way. He wouldn't be able to breathe. It's only for photo shoots.
Oh,
So
okay,
he-
my bad. Oh, I'm sorry, you weren't at the match. Never mind. You
No
do
Akata
you.
bomb today. No Akata bomb today, sir. No Akata bomb.
Yeah. So I'm going to slam it under the deck. Do you think that's a trip? That doesn't do any damage. Should I just do damage?
No, I was just kidding. You can.
I would do damage, and then
whatever
with
you
your
want.
other action, tripper.
Yeah.
This is you doing the crushing push down to the ground.
All right. Yeah. I'll damage first, and then try it trip after.
All right, give me a roll to hit.
Swap the deck with her face.
I'm gonna get obliterated right now.
Natural 20.
You're punching the gut to double her over.
Oh. Shit. What?
I would love to get some of these 20s.
Wait, I hit it with a 24 or I missed it with a
24 miss, but technically we'll get it for you at a 25.
Technically then. Yes.
Okay. And then would you like to use the power-up weapons? Okay, so they just fell 80 foot, so they took 40 points each.
They can shut it off. They're tough animals. It's fine. Whatever. I turn to Foxglove. Do you think they can handle themselves?
Probably. I mean, mammoths are hardy creatures, right?
I was talking more about the ship, not necessarily the mammoths. But
I mean,
right? Damn it, dude, I shot the fuck out of that guy. That was a bad round, everybody.
I headshot that chick and nothing happened.
What?
Like,
Yeah,
zeroed in.
You saw my
in the
man.
temple,
Clip someone.
pulled
Here,
the
I'm gonna see if I
trigger,
can clip
and
that
then
shit.
moved. Nothing happened.
Let me because I wanted to kind of have I wanted to have something that we can use in the future for stuff, so it wasn't just like a one-off place, and especially since the group is going to be kind of searching through the place, and they're going to be taking it over. So you can see here, it's pretty big, and we're starting in the sub-basement. Now.
She has done nothing but been a sincerely positive influence on my life, so.
Man, your ability to bend the truth is just unprecedented.
Really, had it not been for her, I would have never met
cult.
Bartleby.
Lillian Foxglove is a fan of Malort because it tastes like Stockholm Syndrome.
Oh.
Amazing. Holy shit. That was getting clipped for savagery. Shit. Almost as good as the meme I sent out earlier this week. So, I'm trying to find a Give me a roll.
I was thinking either Arcana or Religion because it's undead.
If you want to know about the whale itself, in Zaticus, undead. If you want to know about how it functions, Arcane.
I'm gonna go with Arcane. Hopefully that was enough information to trigger.
Maybe you
a
get some
check
memory
from-
surges here, right?
I was thinking maybe with that information.
There is a huge anti-magic area through here, but according to the plot that the course that you plotted, you should have been skirting it, not in it. But that is the only thing that would do what has happened here.
So it seems possibly, mayhaps, null space occurred. It's anti-magical, but we're nowhere near it. I mean, we're near it. We're always near it, especially gnome space, which is a space where gnomes live, not small space. Space is huge.
That is fucking amazing. Yes, what you said is exactly what it is.
God, I fucking love you.
That is pretty fucking ridiculous. So on the map,
we cut to Red Ogre, and you just see her eyebrow twitching.
So he yells down. He's like, "Path is clear!" At the 8th floor, everyone jumps at him to tackle him.
Oh no!
And it misses.
Okay, so I got to get to a 24 then, right? Because that means he fails.
Yep.
So that's 5. I'm spending 10 points to do so. Ladles and jelly spoons and everyone in between, this creature banishes from existence.
I'm sorry,
I cast a successful banishment.
I'm sorry. What?
Fuck off back to Grimmer space. You're never coming back here again.
Without its arm.
I'm sorry, you what?
I cast banishment. I have that now. So, banishment, if we just need a refresher, if the target is nated to a different plane of existence than the one you're currently on, it is banished with a faint popping noise, returning to its home plane.
That's a long flight back, man.
Now, what I have to do is end my concentration on haste.
Divinity. Which for void, I can create a barrier. I can make a void pocket into an impassable obstruction, basically in front for the next minute while I can concentrate on it. Nothing can penetrate or move through this space. I want to form it like right inside this thing's mouth.
So barring it from hitting you as you guys are lining up to do your jump.
So before we get ready,
like?
When we go to jump, we've got the spear and the axe, and I just have both arms slammed together and the wrists interlock, and both weapons in its hands just start spinning. This purple energy starts like forming this giant, massive ball in this thing's mouth, just like crackling and everything. And then you just see like this eye of Alberath like inside this void, like as well too.
I just want to say you snow globed a galaxy.
I mean,
trying to get away. She's bleeding like that goldish energy out of her, especially with that ghoul hitter, like right here.
Grab someone.
Reach out and hug someone.
I'm grabbed. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, and that only needs one hand, so I'm using my other hand to pound on her.
Sure.
Just palm her.
Well, so that all happened. Voss is in a train cart chasing a child, casting magic missiles at it without knowing what it is because it's still the glowing purple face. Everston is fighting what looks to be Darkane, at least physically. But he has the Black Cobra with him, so at least the rival, the Blue Demon, is there to help in this dire situation. For those who don't know, Black Cobra is from season 1, I think. He is a luchador. He is I think he's not technical. He's Rudo, right? He's a Rudo. And he is not a bad person out of the ring, but he is kind of the bad guy versus Blue Demon in all of our shows. He's been around for many years behind the scenes in games that we played. And then if he's here, what Nora has not learned yet that she's going to learn right now is that a hairstylist that she's friends with is currently dating him. Which means that they are here as well. Somewhere. Because he wouldn't go anywhere looking this good without her here. On top of all that, there's a lot of well-to-do people inside the luxury dining train cars, 3 of them. Voss is 5 cars away from them, running towards it. Meanwhile, Foxglove and Tenwick have decided to go upstairs and see, is Prith okay? And the answer is, yeah, he's all right. But he is killing Olivier, the vampire Eidolon that hunted him through a season until she could hit the face of the piano. And she can't leave the train car, she says, that she's not invited outside into the real world. And then Nora went, fuck. And I went, we're going to take a break. And that's where we left off. So back to the team. Hey guys, we're in the thick of it. But I'm going to go to Voss after Nora hears that. As the camera flies along the train, goes through the window and comes up behind the tiny silhouette as magic missiles are just bombing this thing. And it moves as one hits it in the side, moves again, one hits it in the stomach, the other one hits it in the leg, and it shuts the door. Voss, what would you like to do? You hear footsteps.
I'm gonna follow it out.
So you still have haste. You run down one action. I'll say one action kind of, actually, the train cars are 60 foot long. I looked them up. How far is your movement with one stride with haste? Is it still 25 for you?
Yeah, I just get an extra.
So we'll say two actions. We'll say two actions get you there. One from the haste, another one to get there, one to open the door. Action left. What would you like to do? This train car, the next one up after that, is the... Let me scroll through the bullet points. Train? Train. There we go. It is... Bathhouse, Blue Demon. I think it's the Blue Demon car. Yeah, here we go. Armored car. That's the one between Iron Pools, Box car, Blue Demon merch car. Yeah, it's the Blue Demon merch car.
You said 2 to get to it, 1 to open the door?
Yep, you have an action left.
Okay, I can only fire 1 missile then.
Okay. Oh, you can still cast one missile. So he is going to the next door. So he's ran across. This thing has. It's turned around again, and it's sliding the door shut as you get the missile off. This is going to repeat. I think you're just going to be able to keep shooting it until it gets to the box car. So, unless you have something special to do, give me your damage for your 1 die, and then we'll do the next scene for the next train car as well.
It's only 2 damage. I rolled a 1 on the...
Okay. It is hitting it, and you do notice it is doing damage to it. Like, it is actually harming whatever it is. Those 2 points. I need to look at something for myself here. Okay. You see cracks forming on the doll with some of that purple light emanating out of it. When he shuts the door, and it shuts, this time you hear it get locked. I'll give you another kind of scene to chase it through the Blue Demon merch car. You're basically behind, so the way the Blue Demon merch car looks, if you're looking down it, there is storage above and along the sides. There's a window out each side. The left-hand side has an autograph area, but it's also an area where people can walk up and buy merch. Kind of think like going to a venue with bands. The sides of this train car fold down, so they're like this, and people walk up the ramps and they set merch up everywhere. It's currently open, so there is merch everywhere, and you can see outside to each area. And there's just Earthguard all around.
I always imagine the doorways to the Blue Demon car to be like his face, and you walk through his mouth.
Through the mouth, sure, perfect. Why not? It's painted.
Entrance.
It's painted on the side of it. It's Blue Demon's mouth that you're walking through. Why not? And there's like suspenders for sale, bracers, shoes, shirts, turnbuckles from all of his matches where he's knocked somebody out on the corners, all that kind of stuff.
Overabundance of chocolate bars.
Overabundance of chocolate bars. 100, and of course, collectible trading cards. But anyway, that goes to the door, and the door is locked. You hear it get shut and barred from the outside. I will remind you, they shouldn't be able to be barred from the outside.
How big are the windows?
I mean, you could jump over the counter and go outside the train car.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that to get around the closed door.
Okay, so you jump out and you go to exit the train car. You feel that pressure relief. And when you're outside of the train car is closed. And there's like the one door with the blue demon mouth, like where they would just open the small door, not the full open.
So I just went out the window of a closed car.
You went out of a single door on the sides of a closed car. Like, you know how you would slide open on a boxcar? His is a door that opens. It's the blue demon's mouth. It slides open. It's the blue demon's mouth, and the blue demon's face is painted on the side of a boxcar. When you're on the inside, the whole thing was open. When you're on the outside, it's closed, besides that one door. You left a nightmare. Or an area affected by nightmare, I should say.
I'm gonna run around to the side, like to the side
The
of the
in
train car
between?
that you would be in. Yeah.
So when you get in between, the next car door is open into the next box car. The next box car after the blue demon car, sorry, not a car. It is an open top full of salt with like a awning over top of it. It's a hopper car. And there's a ladder, not a door.
I run up the wall.
So you run up the wall, sure enough, you see the little thing running across the top of the hopper car. So I would say 1 to get out, 1 to get to the middle, spider climb up with the third, you have an action left. Basically, I'm not attacking any, I'm just moving. And I'm moving, this thing moves fast.
Yeah. How far away is it from me?
About 50 foot. Because you just got up under the train car. And he's at the end of the train car, so I'll say about 50. Voss is living the best archer running on a train fantasy.
God.
Do you have another single action spell, or would you like to use that action just to get closer? Because there's no door. The next car after the covered hopper is the dining car.
Yeah, well, I mean...
Because I'll have to jump down, open the door, go in, shut the door.
Still 2. Yeah, I'm gonna move.
Is it 25 or 30 for you?
It is 20.
So it'd be 35 across the 60-foot car, kind of, halfway as you see him hop down. With that, I'll transition to Everston. Everston, outside, you can hear ruckus going on, fighting. You see the guy standing in front of you. Terry's head rolls up, and once you disbelieve it and what's going on, because the spell didn't work, you see Terry's face, but it's somebody else. Like, it's not quite the same. And it's a vision of Terry from some time ago, before he grew like the full beard and mustache that he currently has. It's like just the mustache Terry. There is a guy in front of you being held in a chokehold by Black Cobra.
Can I tell who this person is that's being that's in the chokehold?
It looks like all the images that you've seen painted or drawn of Darkane through your guys' research on him. It looks like him. He's got the 2 big clawed hands, the metal mask with the lower rotted kind of jaw. Actually, it's not rotted, it's scarred jaw showing. But he's in a chokehold right now.
Are there other people in this car that are still...
Oh yeah, there's people still fighting each other, and there's 2 floors to it. Yeah, chaos is ensuing still. Specifically, confused chaos.
That only lasted a round.
Oh, it's only a round? Okay. The confusion is wearing off. Just frightened chaos.
I still feel like tipping a table.
You gonna hit him with a table?
No. Like, God, he's all grappled and everything. I should just... You see, when you're a hammer, everything looks like a nail.
It does. Everything does look like a nail.
Yeah, so I will do another non-lethal whap on this guy. that he's
Okay.
holding.
The guy he's holding.
Actually,
Okay.
I could do the whirlwind thing again and hit everybody just to knock them out.
So the only
Were there
person I'm
any
worried about
results
you
from the people I
hitting,
hit?
they're all unconscious. Everyone's unconscious that you hit. They all fall down. Or they're injured, or they're trying to wake up. Like, they're all in different states because some have more hit points than others. Do you want to strike everyone again? If so, I only need to know 2 rolls because there's 2 people that I'm worried about ACs in this area, and the rest you're just gonna do damage to. Or you can just hit him.
No, I think I'll just hit this one guy who's throwing heads at me.
Okay.
Non-lethally, of course, just to make sure
Okay.
it's not someone that I need to save.
Well, you decide basically how bad it is if you knock him unconscious when you do full damage. I don't think there's non-lethal in this game.
There is. You take a -2 penalty if you don't have.
Oh, okay.
The ability to do
Oh,
non-lethal.
cool. I didn't know that. That's awesome. All right. So then, yeah, you're doing non-lethal.
Oh, maybe I didn't even hit the guy. I rolled a 32.
Yes, because he's held.
Ah, nice.
Okay. Give me your damage for it, and then I need the roll for the other person in the area that you're swinging at if you're doing the whirlwind.
22.
Hi, I'd like to offer you the ability to go fuck yourself.
Hey.
Bots.
Yeah, bots. Somebody in chat, get rid of that clown. So what is your
We can
damage
use
to
harsh
that
language?
person?
25. No. 2.
22 points, okay. And what about to the other one? The same damage? And did you hit the other one?
Oh, I didn't really say, did I? Yeah,
No.
we'll do the big.
I mean, you can just pound on this guy 3 times if you want.
No, that's right. 19 to that one.
Okay. Let me get this person's hit points real quick. A name. All right. When you hit the main guy square, can I get a perception check from you? Not passive. I actually want you to roll this one because you're hitting him and you're hearing the person.
God, it was like, hey, you want to see a nat 20 on this die? Too bad. Just
You
roll
saw it
over.
fleeting.
This is a 33.
That voice sounds really familiar. You just can't place it in the heat of combat. It sounds like somebody you've heard before. It does not sound like the voice of Darkane the few times you've heard him in Nightmares. It sounds familiar. Do you have any actions left?
No, that's the whole round.
Would you like to continue hitting this person in this scene until they're unconscious? Or do you want to do something else before I go to the 2 people dealing with a vampire trapped in a train car?
No, I'm going to wait to see what Black Cobra does.
Oh, he's going to choke this guy out until he passes out.
Okay. Then
It's not a conversation.
it's probably Terry himself. And be like,
So
mad
as he's
you
holding him,
understood."
choking him over and over again, you see the guy's gloved hand go down to his hip. He pulls out something, and you see it like slowly come into like existence as he pulls out a pistol and shoots Black Cobra in the face.
I shouldn't have
And
gone easy on you.
It is fast. Like you see it slow because you're used to combat, but it's like boom. And then the guy uses his shoulder, like his collarbone, to fan it. Shooting the guy. Blood sprays all over inside the scene as it transfers to the vampire in the train car with Nora and Foxglove. Prith lets go. I'm so sorry. And he starts to like shrink back down into like the human looking form of himself. So he can move. He's like, I'm sorry, Olivia. And I didn't mean to hurt you. You look just like her. I'm so sorry. And she's like, get off of me. And she's like pushing him. And you see her Eidolon slide in between the 2 of them. And she's like pushing a collarbone back in place, fixing her jaw.
Olivier, did you say that your Eidolon could leave?
Yeah, I can send it out. It takes a little bit, but I can send it anywhere. I just can't.
Okay.
It's like when I'm not invited into a house, I can still send my Eidolon in to bring, looks for a word, people to me.
Yeah, no, I got that.
Food.
Perfect vampire solution, is it not?
All right, so we're on a different plane right now.
I'm sorry. I just woke up. What? I
The
feel like
fact
you
that
told me I'm not in Ingrad.
That's kind of what we're dealing with right now.
So was I invited here?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Prith goes, I'm sorry, I didn't invite you. I didn't. I don't even know where we are. I just woke up for the first time in like 18 months. Maybe longer.
We are in a distorted version of my train car. And I'm very glad that you've been asleep this entire time, Prith.
Let's just walk out, Prith says.
I need to try and figure out where it's coming from because one of the citizens is currently frozen in time with his body torn apart, and we're trying to find the other pieces.
Oof. Guys, go back to sleep instead.
No, because if you go back to sleep, there's a good chance that the Keeper of Nightmares will find you and try and take you.
That's why I was having such bad dreams. I had a dream that we were eating people, that I cut somebody apart.
Yes, you were inviting people. You and Kristoff weren't getting along.
I had a magically great dinner. I had a whole bunch of people show up. The train car is full of people. There's a huge party.
That part wasn't a dream because now the people you invited are trapped in the other cars suffering from nightmares, I think. I'm not 100% sure.
He looks back into his room. I'm pretty sure I never left. I was sleeping.
Well, all this. So as we're talking, I'm looking at all the stuff on the ground.
Yep.
We're not in combat, so I can't do the reason wrap this. But I'm looking. He has a bunch of stuff, right?
It looks like he bursted out of his room, and like the stuff that's in his room just came out the door with him. In his room, like the things he collects, he has on shelves. Some of it's organized from living with you, but a lot of his stuff from when he was a fledgling is just strewn on the floor, like his area he would sleep in. What? Recently, he has acquired a recliner.
So I know this is very much a long shot, but I'm looking for anything that looks like voodoo doll pieces.
Ooh. Are you going to walk into his room and look?
I'm going to say, Prith, do you mind if I look in your room for some clues?
Oh, I know where everything is. What are you looking for? And he like steps out of the way and lets you in. Like he doesn't care.
I'm looking for pieces of a voodoo doll.
Well, I have dolls. I have a whole collection. He opens a cabinet and there's just dolls in the cabinet.
Lillian immediately just starts to like look at them.
So this one is from Mayo-shan. I ordered this one special. It still is in the crate that it came in. I just opened the front, and he starts going through his collection.
My goodness, is that an authentic doll with the tear?
Oh, this one here. This one here. It's a back scratcher, and he pulls it out and holds the legs and squeeze it, and the hands go like this.
While he's talking, I'm looking for any of them that match like the description of the doll with the armor that looks like it was Lady of the Tides.
Yes, and it's missing.
Okay.
There's like the shelf that has the plaque that says authentic Lady of the Tides, keep your children safe.
Prith, I know you were sleeping.
Yeah.
But someone stole your doll.
He goes, looks around and he looks in it and he goes to reach. He's like, no, it's there. And his hand passes through it. And he pulls his hand back and there's like a flicker of scales showing underneath the skin. Okay. Someone stole from me?
Someone stole from you while you were sleeping, yes.
Oh, they fucked up.
Yeah, they fucked up. So we need to find out who took it and where they took it, because I think that doll is tied to the Plague Doctor, who is potentially a vessel for the Keeper of Nightmares.
He goes over to the recliner, reaches into like a little drawer on the table. Yep. He grabs out something and he flicks open, it looks like a pocket watch, but it's a compass inside, like one of those old school ones. And he goes, and in Draconic, he tells it to locate his doll.
Okay. While he's doing that, I then turn to Olivier. Allie, if you want to jump in at any time, please feel free.
Am I allowed to leave in my normal form, Nora? Does the city know about me yet?
I don't think they do. No, I'm sorry, Prith. I've also been asleep for 18 months. I just woke up recently, I think.
Okay.
I know, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Well, if I can't go into my normal form, and he goes like this and hands you the compass, he says, this will take you to it.
Okay. Then I turn to Olivier and I'm like,
Olivier is no longer here.
Well, if I can talk to her,
she's gone from here. She's
on
the train car somewhere. She's no longer in the hallways. You guys walked in the room and talking.
Right. So as I walk, I'm like, okay. And I say out loud, Olivier, you are an undead. You shouldn't be able to sleep. And yet you're trapped in a nightmare.
You hear shattering of windows downstairs.
I'm gonna go downstairs and
she's got a chair and she's bashing windows trying to get out. She looks like a feral animal in a cage right now.
Olivier, I need you to focus.
She's bashing windows unless, you want to make a roll to try to calm her down, one of the two of you. She is feral right now.
Foxglove, I'd
be delighted to.
Yeah, come on close.
Oh, don't say it like that. Now I don't want to roll. Okay.
See me now.
We are going to go ahead and try a little diplomacy.
Okay, yeah, sure, yeah. Diplomacy.
There you go. Look, Olivier, I know we don't know each other that well, but trust me, we are on your side. And between you and me, I think right now, being on this car is particularly safe. So would you actually mind helping me with a bit of a task, just so we can, take some stress off of Nora and make the most of our time here? Please?
Please.
36?
Now, I will tell you, the average DC, again, for level 15 is 34. Are you comfortable with that?
No.
Cool.
We are never comfortable below that 20. You have to understand.
Or...
I already used my patch, so...
Did anybody else in the audience give you a patch? I don't think so. So you're going to have to use a hero point.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
That's a little better. That is coming in at... Exactly.
That's a word or a language.
41. That is 41.
Trickster gave you a patch. All right, you can use Trickster's patch.
Thank you.
I will scratch out that use of a hero point. All right, and what was the total?
41.
She stops. You hear the fangs go back in, and she sets the chair down. It's like cracked, chipped. She sets down Nora's office chair, because that's obviously the nicest chair here. That's all damaged, and sets it down. She turns around and she goes, I'm sorry. I don't handle being trapped well. And she goes to stick her hand through the glass, and she's forced, her hand's forced back into the window. Like, she can't push out.
Can I roll an occult?
Yeah. That's actually probably a pretty good call right now.
I was also going to do that because I'm trying to figure out why she's trapped in here.
I will, both of you roll. We'll take the highest and add to the other for this, because you're both kind of combined. Leading in action, basically.
We're looking at each other like, what kind of weird occult nonsense is this right now?
44 over here.
Whew. God damn.
Let's see. I got a 40.
Well, you didn't roll a 1, so we know you at least aided her with a +4, right?
So I crit, so you get a +4.
48.
So there is definitely something going on with her not being able to leave. You're guessing that she has been exiled from the material world and is only allowed to be wherever this is. with that knowledge between the two of you, that means that this train is not primarily in the material. It means it's in the realm of nightmares. This train car, the outside is probably the material still. It is coated, slathered, painted in nightmare. She is only allowed to be in nightmares right now. That means if one of you were to exit and invite her out, she might be able to leave if she can hear you, because remember, there is a sound issue between inside and outside. Just like when you're sleeping, you don't always hear people. Well, you hear whir, whir, whir in the background, you hear the peanuts noise. So...
Foxglove, she seemed to react better to you than me. Maybe go outside and invite her out.
Absolutely.
Invite her back onto the material plane as a resident of the material plane. We might have to phrase it super specifically.
Be happy to do that, yes. So yeah, she's going to head out. My question is, no, I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
I thought I could be sneaky, but that's not going to work too terribly well.
Okay.
However, before I go, I will say, Olivia, you're doing a great job considering the circumstances, and I, for one, am very proud of you. And I'm going to infect with enthusiasm.
Are you fluffing me right now?
That's
so
amazing.
Maybe she can take a +1 to wisdoms if she uses an action to feel a
I don't
bit better.
think the song helps there, Jem.
It's Jem.
I'm gonna go ahead
It's
and
truly,
disagree with you on there.
outrageous.
I think it's great.
Emotional HP. She
I'm helping.
stops. She says, so here's the thing. If you can get me out of here, I will help. But if I am trapped in here, I'm no good. And you can see she's like doing well with Foxglove kind of keeping her contained, keeping herself in check. If you would like, I can send my Eidolon out of here. My Eidolon can go anywhere. I can send him somewhere else.
Do you have a direct connection with your Eidolon?
I'm going to pretend you did not ask me that question.
Like, I'm asking, like, telepathy.
I know, and she says out loud, I'm going to pretend you are not asking me if I'm connected to my Eidolon.
Can I read the room?
Oh, she's 100% connected to him. Yeah, they're one and the same. They're like familiar plus.
Okay, cool. I'm like, look, so I used to have this friend named Bartleby, so I know what it's like to just have that special connection with someone. Okay, I'm stepping outside with your Eidolon.
Okay, so she desummons the Eidolon and summons it outside.
Okay. And Lillian will go on out.
Have you seen the Eidolon before? Have you been present?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
So this husk of a creature that's like a hollowed out log with brambles and thorns standing next to you looks at you with these like glowing green eyes waiting. And then
all right.
And in what does it speak? It doesn't speak common.
Isn't it Sylvan?
Sylvan, yeah. In Sylvan it goes, I'm told to follow you wherever you go.
Yes,
and to kill you if you make a mistake.
Well, we all make mistakes, but you know, fair.
I would recommend no mistakes.
I will take that under consideration. Thank you. She's not being facetious. She's not being facetious. She is being.
So where are you two going, and Nora? What are you doing? So where are you two going first? Where are you taking the Eidolon to? There's people still panicking outside, but the Earth Guard, because of rolls, are doing pretty well. And speaking of which, I need the chat to roll me a d20 for the Earth Guard to see how well they're doing.
Just looking for, like, just outside of the car to be material plane.
Yep.
Probably outside, and I'm going to try to look through that window that was just shattered.
Well, you can look through the doorway, the windows. You can see them inside. They look normal to you, except for the bleeding is now like the body is not doing well. The doctor's body is bleeding out everywhere. There's just a fucking pool of blood, which they shouldn't bleed like this. And it is that black old blood look though. which is how an abandoned sheds blood. And I will also say, when you come out, that pins and needles feeling, as you walk out, you can actually see like the indentations in your skin go away. It's almost like there were metaphysical like pins pushing into your skin.
Oof. Okay, good to know. From the window, I'll call over and to Nora and Vivian.
They can't hear you inside.
Dang it. Oh,
I can speak to her still.
Good. Okay. Are you able to relay messages?
I would tell her, and then she would tell someone else. It's a mental connection.
Could you ask her to come over to the window?
Sure. And he does, and there's a little bit of a delay, and sure enough, Olivia comes to the window, her reflection missing from all of the glass that's shattered around. She's looking out the window.
Okay.
In the middle of the day.
Oh, no.
You see her skin burning up. Inside Nora, she looks normal.
Okay. Tell her to please step away from the window to just make eye contact with me. Step away from the window.
Okay, there's a delay. She backs
the
up.
eye contact.
She backs up. You see all the face is like burned away. Her eyes are still intact, and she's making eye contact with you through the window.
Do I know her full name?
Nope.
Okay.
You know her last name. Her last name's Howitz, but you wouldn't know her middle name.
Okay, that's fair.
And the Eidolon will not tell you.
No, of course. That's fine. So she'll just go ahead and, while maintaining eye contact, just say like, okay, please relay this verbatim for me. Olivia and Howitz, I would like to invite you back to the material.
Oh, that won't work. She has to hear you.
Okay.
I just saw a victim card get played.
Question.
It's gonna be me.
Damn it, Amir.
So she knows a little bit about plants, right?
Plants or plans?
Plants.
Sure. I mean, I guess. I don't know. Do you? Do you have skills on it?
Oh, I'm asking if Howitz does.
No, not at all, actually.
No?
No. Howitz does not specialize in it. She just has a Sylvan Eidolon attached to her.
Yeah, because she was struggle busting during my side quest to get stuff up and running.
Gotcha. Dang. Okay. I'm looking at all of my things. I'm like, can I double speak? I was hoping that I could use secret speech.
Unfortunately, she can't hear you in there. And that's what the Eidolon would say. Says she can't hear you through the window. Also, you realize you just harmed her, right?
I was not quite aware.
I'm gonna have to tell her.
Yes, please do, and please tell her to also have Nora see to her with medicine.
So when she's looking out the window, she slowly turns and looks at Nora and goes, "Your friend just tried to kill me. She walked me to a window full of sunlight."
I'm sorry, we initially thought it was a dinner party, and so our sense of time is off.
Sign language besides finger guns?
Well, I was gonna say, like, why can she not? The purpose, I think, was for her to take her your Eidolon, and then give him an invitation.
The Eidolon can't invite me out. That doesn't. She would have to do it. The Eidolon and I are connected, but he is not of either plane.
Do you need to hear the invite?
I would need to hear the invite, I think. That's the only way I've ever done it in the past.
I do sign language. Like, do you think sign language would work?
What the fuck are you doing right now?
It's sign language.
That's not my thing. Listen, I grew up in a rich family. We didn't really... I don't know sign language very well.
Can you read lips?
Yeah, I can read lips, but I can't see her. She's like a blur. And you look outside, you can tell it's Foxglove, but sure enough, there's a blur. When she moves her mouth or blinks, it's like the faces are like blurred for your protection. Like you can't see them very well.
What do you last remember?
I'd really not discussed that, but I remember, yeah.
Well, the reason I'm asking is because I'm trying to figure out how you were forced to sleep and trapped here.
I climbed into where I slumber, and I woke up the next night like normal.
Okay, well, last I recall, I gave you permission to sleep on this car.
Yeah, I have a space in between the floor and I'm set up.
Do you mind if we take a look at that space?
Oh, it's upstairs, but yeah.
Okay.
So you guys are going to head upstairs. Fox goes outside, you're going upstairs.
My goal is to get her and Prith out, because if we are trapped in here and Prith is trapped in here, then he is trapped in a nightmare.
So you're walking upstairs to try to solve this. Fox goes outside with the idol on. Perfect.
Yes.
I'm going to rewind back to Voss chasing a doll, casting magic missile, train car to train car. You're now on top of the hopper car full of salt. It hopped down. You use one action to run to the ledge. You have 3 actions left. The door is open. It does not shut the dining car door.
You said it was...
So you have 3 actions left.
Move down to the floor.
Okay.
Can I see him?
There is a crowd of people arguing, some scared, others eating people. You do see the next train car's door is open as well, because it's one big thing open right now. You can see through the crowd of people, Everston pounding on somebody. You hear screaming, and you hear the distinct sound of gunshots.
But
you can't see who he's punching, because it's just narrow doorways, so. Well,
I don't see it.
You don't, on a cursory glance into the place, no. If you'd like to use an action to search for them, you could. To be an action to the edge and kind of jump down. I'll say you can get down to the ground floor with your 25. And then you'd have 3 actions left. 1 to perceive if you want, and 2 left. Because the door is open. You don't have to open it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll make a perception check.
All right, give me a roll.
36.
What is that noise? It must be Kelly's mic.
Sorry, I'm typing, but it normally...
Yeah, I know. We can hear it today for some reason.
Issue.
Yeah, I don't know. I can hear it this time. It's all right. She's like, now you can't. Fuck you. What did your total check, Voss?
36.
36. You do not see the little thing in here anywhere. There's a lot of people in these train cars, though, moving about.
Do
you want to walk into the train car?
I mean, yeah, there's... No, I don't. Not yet.
Okay.
I'm going to cast a spell on myself first.
All right. What do you cast on yourself? And then I'll give you another scene inside the car if you want to go in.
True Seeing.
Okay. Can you put that in the chat for class for me?
Yup.
I thought it's a great spell in this edition.
Mm-hmm.
We got Voss. All right. I'm going to move this here, and then we're going to move this here. And I have a feeling you two are going to end up together here. That's my guess.
You see things within 60 feet as they actually are. GM rolls a secret counteract check against any illusions or transmutations in the area, but only for the purpose of determining whether you see it through it, for instance.
You currently can see through the nightmare. Okay. Would you like the actual scene inside the train car?
Yes.
You're going to have to walk in for it to work.
I'm out of actions. So
I said we'll go into the next scene. Don't worry about it. I said if you want to go do a scene in the train car, you can.
Yeah.
All right, so when you walk through, same feeling. You get the pins and needles. You can feel your skin being depressed. Nothing physical that you can see. And sure enough, there are people beating the shit out of each other. There are body parts on the table, people that they have been eating, similar to what you guys saw. Your train car is full of Earth Guard, higher ups, Air Guard, and lamplighters in this train car. It looks like they were having a meeting. A lot of people in here have been murdered by the lamplighters. There are lanterns, war lanterns, like stuck in the faces of higher ups from the True Faith, and people set ablaze in this car. I will remind you that they are all ablaze on the tables.
So it's like figgy pudding.
It looks similar to the ham on your table in your room. There are lamplighters kind of over top of them, like pulling pieces off and eating, and having conversations like nothing is going on in this train car. They're just having a dinner party. You can see that is not what's happening.
Right.
And I need a will save.
Okay.
But it'll only be for this train car. If you make it, you're good in this train car. Does the nightmare take hold of the fatigued Voss?
38.
Are you good with that?
I mean, I rolled a 15 on the die. It's about as good as I can get. That's with my -1.
Okay. Staying with it?
Yeah. 38
You
worked the
can
last couple of times. So.
Feel the drowsiness coming over you, but you are used to studying late nights in college and studying spells and crafting for those 48-hour marathons, and you do not fall asleep in the car.
Good. Good.
What would you like to do while you're in here? Move to the next car, or are you looking for the little demon thingy in here?
I'm looking for, the little...
It's 2 floors, looking around the true sight. If you'd like to give me another perception, I'll allow that, as you kind of sweep the 2 floors looking. No one seems to be bothering you. Actually, some of the lamplighters go, "Oh, hey, Voss, nice to see you." And the face is just covered in blood.
Blah. 33.
33, okay. You don't see the little one around, but what you do notice is the lamplighters that are here that have been eating people. They have like black veins showing up around their mouth. Their lips are receding back.
Fuck. They're being fed bleak.
That is what it looks like, yes.
Shit.
Are you staying in this train car or moving to the next before we cut to Everston? If you move to the next, you will be in Everston's train car because he's in the middle one.
I'm going to move to the next car.
So I'll say as you move through, there's nothing in between the 2 cars. As you open that door up into it, Everston is beating the shit out of somebody. I need a will save for you to not fall asleep in this train car before I move to Everston and put you guys in the same room.
Not enough, so I'm going to use a hero point.
Okay. Okay. That's the first hero point for you, though.
That will do it. That's a 40.
You do not fall asleep. And you see him cock back, and when he's coming in for that punch hitting the guy, he is wearing a Inquisitor's retinue mask. Black Cobra has a hole through his jaw and out the side of his face, as you see Angelo popping shots into him.
Oh, fuck, from the bullet parlor.
Mm-hmm. That's what is. I mean, Everston's is pounding on him, and Cobra's got him a sleeper hold. His head's out of the way now with the gunshots, though. And I will put you both into a scene. And you walk in. Everston and Voss, you're in the same scene together. What would you like to do? And you don't fall asleep. You are safe in this train car for now, unless something happens, like you take a slumber condition or nightmare condition, something like that, Voss.
Do I see that little shit in here?
You haven't made a perception check yet, though. Just on cursory glance, nothing. You do see the same exact scene going on. And this one, though, it is like well-to-do people, famous people, not really someone from the True Faith. You see Angelo getting the shit kicked out of him. And you see next to Black Cobra, you see a decapitated person, and you see the head of Walter on the ground in front of the doorway. And then the head of some random person as well.
Walter.
That is Angelo's partner for the bullet parlor.
Ah, shit.
Victim card.
Nice job, Amir.
Correct. What do you two want to do? You're in scene together.
Can you... Mate, can you see me? Everston.
Do I see and hear him?
Yep, you're fine. Your DC you made earlier, you notice it's not really Terry. You didn't really recognize the other head as it rolled up because Terry's the one who cast a spell on you, aka it wasn't high enough. And you don't know this is Angelo because he's wearing a mask and it seems like Darkane.
Boss, I think I have one of his minions here. Help me out.
Mate, that's Angelo. It's a retinue.
X-retinue?
X-retinue. From the before 4 times.
But
it's Angelo from the bullet parlor.
So
if you would like to make another will save as you pull your hand back of the bloodied face. Well, dented mask because you're trying to knock him out.
I feel like I better spend my one and only hero point on this.
Unless somebody in the audience has got a patch for him.
Because that's a very low roll.
Well, go ahead and re-roll. It'll either be your hero point or a patch if someone from the audience offers one's up. And we'll put down, this is me. Alright. Alright.
So that's a... will save. That's a 38.
38. Yes. You're beating the shit out of Angelo. Now that you're up close and holding him and you've been told that, the DC is lower.
Oh no.
He's like this,
what have I done?
holding a gun.
Angelo, I'm sorry. This is a very confusing time. I'm so sorry. Here, take this.
Can you let go of my throat? And he's like talking to Cobra, who's like choking out. Cobra does not let go.
I'll say,
Release him. This is an ally. We've been duped.
And I will pull a moderate healing potion and feed it to Angelo.
So you take it out, take an action, feed it to him. So you start healing. You see the bruises and stuff healing up, and Cobra just like buckles down harder, biting into him hard, and you see he bites onto Angelo's neck.
Huh?
Yeah, man, he has poison.
Stand down.
He has poison. Can I have the audience roll me a d20, please? You're telling him to stand down. Let's see what the d20 gives us in chat. As he slowly uncoils from him and drops him to the floor in his suit. He's covered in blood. He's got a hole through the side of his face. His eyes are bleeding. He doesn't look great. And he goes, just try to put him to sleep, man. I'm not trying to kill him, even though he shot me in the face. This is bad. And there's just like a hole in the hole, like out of the side, like up here right below the temple. And you see Angelo on the ground.
Like the
and
end
you see
of
him
Fight
breathe.
Club.
He's snoring. Yeah, it looks like Fight Club. Yeah, that's actually a really good representation. He goes, I can't see who's who. I'm not trying to kill anyone. I'm just putting him to sleep. He shot me in the face.
Apparently I'm under the same influence. I thought I was...
And you look down, Angelo's good. You can see the head of Walter now in the corner. You can see Terry. It's not Terry, it's some other random civilian. But it is Walter's head, and that is Angelo. And Walter's body's next to him. He's wearing the apron. He's got a bunch of tools on him. They have a little table set up to like repair people's guns during the party and like upgrade them and modify them. The bullet parlor symbol's up. There's the parlor spindle with the bullets down it, like the old-timey barber shops. He goes, I don't know what happened in this train car, man, but this is horrible. And he grabs Angelo and slides him towards the door, and he kicks Walter's head out and the other guy's head out of the door. He's like, last thing we need is them waking up and seeing this shit. And he just kicks both heads out the door, out to the Earth Guards, which you see freak out immediately. What are we doing here, you two? And you see people around you still in chaos.
Boss, I can't really trust my eyes right now. I need your help with this.
Right. Let's see here. Okay, that's a free action. I haven't done anything on this turn yet.
We're not in turns. We're in a scene. You're fine right now.
Okay.
We're not in a combat initiative.
Yeah, no, sorry. It's get up my little chart here that I made last game.
Is this the can I cast it, can I not chart?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know, Foxglove and Nora, if you guys are chatting to each other somewhere, but feel free. Oh, well, you can talk through the Eidolon, though. He can send messages to her, you just can't tell her to. So I'm saying if you guys need to communicate, you can. I'd say do it in Discord, probably be the easiest.
6th. So, okay. You see him grip his staff and it glows, and he touches Everston. Everston, you now have true seeing.
Oh. Okay. True sight. You can see everything I described to Voss earlier from both train cars and how it works. Can I get a perception check from the both of you being in the train car together?
Perception?
Perception, yeah. Perceive what's going on. Your new true sight abilities. 37, okay.
This is a roll, not a...
This is a roll.
Nat 1, 26.
Nat 1, you can see everything I described. Voss, you can see that the one thing you catch out of everything is there are almost like gifts for everybody who were in this train car, and there wasn't in the other train car. And there's bunches of green and emerald ordered like packages, like wrapped, like perfect little gifts to everybody who's in this car. You're guessing the Emerald Order was fronting whatever was happening in this car, the dinner, the gifts, and they must have gathered people together here for whatever. And there are a bunch of people in Emerald Order garb or accoutrement in this car. Some alive, some dead. They don't seem to notice the Director of Expanse is here because they're too busy being either confused, eating, or beating the shit out of each other. Once in a while, maybe someone waves to you, oh, hi, boss, welcome to the party, but they go back to eating people. And you do see their lips all shriveling back as well. Not every one of them, but the ones that have obviously failed their saves.
Everston, I'm pretty sure the bodies on the table have the bleak. I'm starting to see it in signs from the last train car and this one. Can I make a fettering lore check, i.e. Emerald Order, to see what these would possibly like entail, like what they would have in them without opening one up?
They wouldn't have anything to do with the packages? No, there's a gift. I mean, you have to see what's inside.
Okay.
I would say a society check might give you an idea. It'd be a little easier for you because you worked for the Emerald Order for so long.
Okay. It's a 34 society.
34, yeah. These packages are gifts that are head out. Basically, they are items preset up so that if you were to die, this would be an object you'd carry with you. Usually it's a brooch, a pendant, a ring, but they have the Emerald Order symbol in them, and they're given to people so that it can be with them along to self-attune. No, not auto-fetter. Just it would be the correct item to use on death to attune. So like if you died, they would search your body. They'd see that you'd have an Emerald Ordered fettered item. Oh, that's what that person would use to fetter you. And it's kind of a gift. And they're always really nice, like jewelry. Not like high-end, but really nice pieces.
It's a personalized reliquary.
They're level 5 reliquaries.
Wow, okay.
And they're usually for like high-to-do society meetings.
Okay.
That's what you're guessing's in them. Without opening it.
Okay.
Am I right in recalling that Bleak helps Darkane control?
No,
else?
nightmare. So slumber, the effects of slumber or being tired, like exhaustion, slumber, things like that, make it easier for him. Bleak does not. That has nothing to do with the tides at all. He's not somebody else's tides. The Lady of the Tides can control creatures that have the Bleak.
Oh, maybe that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, there is a keeper that does it. Those two are tied together technically.
Because that would make sense. Like if he was able to influence those under the Bleak, like that's why people keep dreaming that they're eating stuff, is because it's spreading that.
Boy, can I get a Graveletter lore from you?
Sure. 32.
The doll that is fettered is made. It's a representation of the Lady of the Tides. I will remind you that it is a doll for that. And Gravelighters know that that was a way to scare kids into not doing stuff, but really it was to protect them. Bleakness follows her wherever she goes. The people that are eating probably are recently bleaked, like they weren't bleak when they started eating these people.
Oh, okay.
Because you're like, oh wait, yeah, she's. If we were to capture her again, we know that the problem we have with her is because she was causing bleak within the lantern. So that's the short of it. You would want to be very careful dealing with the doll as a Gravelighter. Like if you were to take that soul, put it into your Gravelighter lantern, there's a chance she could corrupt everything. That doll, whatever the doll is. Can I get an occult roll for Voss before we transfer scenes here? Because I see the two of them are working out a plan that I'm interested in seeing how this is gonna go.
An occult?
Occult.
39.
Or medicine, your choice, whatever's higher. You're just gonna get different answers.
Occult.
Okay. The bleak that they have right now is on stage 1. The bodies on the table look like they are recently bleaked. Like it hasn't grown through all of the meat yet that they're eating, but a decent amount. Like tides washed through this car, left, rotten meat bleaked.
Do I know how long ago that happened? Judging by
time is really hard for you right now. Like looking at the rot that's on it within the last hour. That was what I would say, but you don't know how long you were not locked in a nightmare, so that's not really gonna help you, really. But it's an hour old, I would say, roughly an hour old, 60 minutes or so.
Okay.
Anything else you two want to do in here before I transfer?
Yes, the next round.
There's no rounds.
Right, but the next
what do you want to do?
I'm going to cast another spell on Everston. I'm going to cast Spell Immunity Nightmare. Because I get to do it for free.
If they already have a nightmare going on, does it get rid of it? How does that work? How does it affect nightmares? Also the most bullshit thing ever. Rainbow Blight! Yes, also needs to be a shirt. I thought about a reading rainbow dripping in bleak. I thought that would be a really good shirt as well.
Oh my god.
Do you put it in chat?
Yeah.
Oh, you're using spell immunity. Against effects of a single spell. It's a single spell. So
yeah,
the nightmare is a spell.
Because they've tried to cast it on us before.
No, I know. Yeah. No, at this time it wouldn't affect anything. I just want to know if he has a lingering effect, if it would do anything, but it doesn't for this.
This is just like the
smart though.
I don't know if the head casts the nightmare spell, but
right.
I know it's kind of in their wheelhouse.
Right.
And I get to do it for free, so I wanted to hit him with something.
Totally fine. I get it. So you're doing that. You're casting those two things. The two ladies are going to be dealing with Prith and Olivier. I'm going to move our camera over to them. So if you two want to discuss your stuff and chat it all like they were, feel free. And I'm going to bring the other two into it. Nora, Foxglove, So you got a lot of planning going on in chat right now. I'm a little worried. I've only seen glimpses because I've been focusing on this. I'm a little worried about what I'm reading. Where do you want to start with this?
So we're passing messages back and forth between the Eidolon. And
is there any message in there that the Eidolon would question, or would he be fine passing them? Nothing is really directly affecting Olivier?
No, because it's just stuff like I'm like specifically like asking like after Foxglove is like
we can't hear you for some reason. I'm fixing it.
Here we go.
There we go. Now you can.
Okay. So with the Eidolon, like we're basically like using it to convey like, okay, so if you need to, like, he can't pass the invitation along. How do we pass the invitation along? There's nothing that I would think would be super questionable, especially if Olivier is okay with me seeing where she sleeps to figure out like what happened. So as we're going, I would pass the message like, hey, we're going to take a look at her sleeping area, see if anything was altered there to keep her trapped. Okay. And then as we're going, I'm going to ask Olivier, would telepathy work?
I've never had anyone do it. I can do telepathy to people, and I have used telepathy to invite me in, but not across planes. I think the problem is we aren't in the material.
Right. Would a recorded invitation work?
What is that? Oh, like a wax recorder.
Yes.
I don't know. I've never been invited by recording before. Usually it's I charm somebody or I have the Eidolon drag them to the door and force it in place of death.
Have you ever received an invitation to a private event that would have let you
like
go?
A written letter?
Yes.
I have had ones with my name on it, and I am allowed in the building when that happens. But that again, that is the material to the material. I think the problem is we're crossing the veil. And I think that is what messes everything up, for me, at least. And she touches the window again. She goes, and honestly, I don't want to be outside if there's sunlight out there. She wipes her face and wipes skin all over, like ash all over her
I know, that's one of the
sleeve.
reasons I want to look. You know what? So
now, I can quickly move from train car to train car. That is not a problem.
Okay, so...
Because she's not standing. So the way sunlight works is once you're in sunlight, if you're in it for more than a round, you take damage. That's how sunlight works in this. You have to. You can dash through sunlight areas. I could hide inside my Eidolon. That's how I survive in daylight.
Right, but we're trying to figure out how to get you out.
I'm saying if I get out, I could do that.
Right. Let's take a look at your sleeping area, see what they might have done to trap you here.
So you go upstairs, in between, so you got a door to, Pris Place, a couple other areas. The space in between, she pulls a panel off the wall. And in between the two walls in this tiny gap, there's a hole, not a hole, but an open area where they've pulled the flooring up. And down in below, underneath these two rooms, she has a sleeping quarters that's, just enough for her to lay in.
Right. This is gonna sound...
There's a blanket laying in there right now, on top of, the dirt and stuff that's in there.
This is gonna sound silly, maybe, but I'm gonna extend my undead sense just to make sure that she's actually undead.
Oh yeah, she's undead, 100%.
Cool. In case it's another weird, wacky dream or something. So...
Good point.
I'm going to, she would know better if anything was disturbed, so I'm gonna ask her to take a look first.
So I don't like other people seeing this that often. It does fuck it, whatever. And she reaches in, she grabs the blanket that she pulls back.
I was asking her to go look.
I know, but you can see it's like a narrow hall. It goes in maybe 4 foot. She would shimmy in sideways or gaseous form and slide in. So she gets in and crunches herself and she pulls the blanket back. The blanket is this nice black velvet blanket that she pulls back. The inside is done in golds and purples. But when she pulls it back, she drops the blanket immediately and she jumps back to the opposite side of the train car. Distance between you and her. You can see her eyes in the darkness, You don't see a flicker of light because she has no life in her, but you do see a flicker of life where she sleeps.
I can.
That is not who I brought here to feed off of. I have no idea what this is. I always let them go. Our arrangement was I was not to kill anyone on the train car.
I'm not accusing you of anything.
Well, that person's near dead. That heartbeat is very slow.
So I pull out a light, because I have ever burning lanterns.
There is a man in there. He is dressed pretty well, not dressed for the times.
Okay.
And he is pretty beaten up and marred, laying in the bed.
Does he have any weird markings or tattoos on him?
You would have to drag him out of that hole to do that. He's clothed.
Oh, I'm gonna drag him out anyway, so I can use battle medicine on him.
Okay, so you grab his feet and you start pulling, and he does not move from it. She goes, he looks like he's staked to the ground.
Son of a... All right.
She goes, I can remove it. It's just wood.
It's
and
not
then you're reaching. You gotta remember, it's a 60-foot long train car, right? And these train cars are wide. There are like 40-foot wide train cars. And she moves the 10-foot in. She goes, I can pull it if you would like.
It's not that. I want to search the area to see if it's trapped.
You would have to cram your way into this tiny spot if you want to do that, because it's in like 3-4 foot. Like you're basically at the prod with your cane and a light. You could do that if you'd like.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be able to flip him over or derobe him or anything like that.
No. So I'm gonna say, do you mind if I go in there? I want to check to see if anything will happen if you pull a stake out, like if they set up some sort of magical trap.
Fine. So both of you are staring over a body in her private quarters. The only 5x4 she owns on this train.
I know.
Fine.
Hey man,
sure.
I'm trying.
She leans against the back wall, annoyed, but she's not going to fight it. She sends a message to the Eidolon. The Eidolon looks at Foxglove and goes, "They're in her bedroom."
Okay, I'm sure that's safe.
It's the weirdest state.
No, most people die in her bedroom.
Oh, that's Nora. She'll be fine.
State. I'm going to use a hero point.
The confidence.
Because that was a natural one.
Okay, hero point for you.
Using a hero point.
All right.
That's better. That's a 15. So that is a 42. Looking for
yes.
traps.
It is it is not trapped. It is someone who has been. It's a metal stake instead of a wood stake. Now that you're in close.
Okay.
And it looks like a tie rod for not tie rod. The stake for like railroads. It looks like it came from the car because you guys have an auto layer for railroad tracks.
Right.
It looks like one of those big, a pike, yeah.
Okay.
And there is 5 of them.
My entire car is a crime scene serving hands. We're just
You are not wrong.
It is absolutely a crapshoot. So
I will tell you that the pins and needles that you feel right now are really strong. If you did not have the Grimoire in here, it would be
real bad.
Very bad. And I would like to remind you, Grimoire only lasts for 10 minutes.
I know, that's why I said in chat, like, I'm trying to bum rush this as quickly as I can within. You know what?
She's like, I can just pull him out of here. He's gonna die anyway. Who cares if some things break?
Because
she's always been this way. She has no care for human life.
I'm like, because
also been hit in the face of the piano, hates everyone now.
He might know what happened to you. He might know how to get you out of here.
Yeah, I have a lifetime.
Okay.
Yeah, I trust you're gonna help me, right? I mean, there's no one for me to eat on this train anymore, and you're not a delicacy.
Right, so we're going to pull him out so I can stabilize him and then see if he can help us get you out of here.
Fine. And she like backs up into the corner. Would you like to give me a medicine check while he's in here?
Yes.
Cool. And we're gonna go to Foxglove because I'm curious as what she's sent to do.
Foxglove has been, I see her like basically going through like a catalog that she probably carries with her, because we're going to go ahead and
we're not really
use a
helping
spell
right
card.
now. Is what the audio line says. Oh, you're going through like your notes. Okay.
Yeah.
Spell card. Let me pull this up. Let's find how many spell cards we have left in here. EPF spell. What is it called? Is it new spell? I think it's new spell.
Mm-hmm.
New spell. We are gonna use the one from Anna. What spell would you like to pull? Remember, when you use this, it's a scroll unless you scribe it or learn it. So it's a one use at your level, and it's gone.
Yes.
What are you looking for?
So we've already established that she can read lips. The problem is just not being able to see me well.
She can't see it. Yeah, it's a blur.
Flame thing.
That has been set back and forth. It's like a hazy dream. It's like 10 minutes after you woke up and the details are faded.
How far away are they in terms of feet, like into the entrance of the train car?
They're upstairs on the second floor. It's a 24 foot tall train car. Okay. So I would say, I don't know, 20 to 30 feet from you, but you can't see them.
That's okay.
Okay.
I don't need to see it.
Oh, okay.
No, yes, I do. I'm a liar. I have to see it.
If you were to crawl up to the second floor, you could look through the window, or the Eidolon could pick you up if you are willing to have that conversation.
They're upstairs, you say, right now. Do you know about how long they're going to be? Because I think I have an idea where we might be able to go ahead and effectively invite.
Are you asking me to lift you up in the air?
I was more so asking on, do you think that would be quicker than waiting for them to come back down?
Hold on. And he asks, and then you hear Olivier upstairs. Olivier goes, how long is this going to take?
Well, I mean, if we get him out and I do battle medicine, it's going to take however long it takes.
She goes, I don't know, wait a second. And the Eidolon looks to Foxglove and goes, she said, just wait a second, how long that is. So
I rolled a 39 on my treat.
He's alive. Okay. All the stakes are through areas that are not vital. He is pinned to the ground inside of her sleeping area on the train.
Okay, so as we're looking at the pins, like pulling the clothes,
they are not what put him in this state.
I get that, but do I see any tattoos?
You're gonna start undressing him? He's in like a three-piece suit.
No, it's like moving the stuff, like when we were taking a look at how he was pinned.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
No, his face is really scarred up. His eye on the right-hand side is like bludgeoned, and his lips are, his mouth is not open.
All right, well, let's...
Like if you move his jaw, like his head moves. Like his jaw is not opening. It could be locked shut from swelling. It could be 100 things. With that check, unfortunately, you don't know unless you are going to take him to a table and take time with battle medicine. It looks like lockjaw. That's what I would say it would look like.
Well, then, yeah, we're going to get him out and then heal him up. That was my original plan. If he's not trapped, we're going to pull him out.
Nope. So really quickly, you see her go through and yank all the stakes out. And she hands them to you.
Okay. Battle medicine, I'm just going to do assurance because I don't want to mess it up.
Are we taking him out of here into the hallway?
Yes.
So you take him in the hallway. Prith leans his head out and goes, oh, that guy. He looks really bad. I have potions?
So battle medicine is going to be... Is the DC higher at all, Eric, for trying to heal him?
It's a normal DC assurance for now, I would say.
Okay. So then I'm picking Master, which is 30. I would get that with assurance. So it's going to be 30 plus 15.
Okay. Is your goal to wake him up? Is that the goal?
The goal is
so he can talk or make him conscious and say wake him up.
Yeah, the goal is to heal him up enough to get him conscious. So we're looking at 45, 11... 56 points of damage have been healed.
So...
Just like hold on a second. I think I learned this like sometime.
Flicks him in the forehead and he heals 58 points of damage. Cannot wait to change this feat. I think all that is needed, there needs to be a limit on how much it can heal. That's all there needs to be. Like, it should be It should be like a minimal amount. Like, hey, you can heal them enough to get them awake. Not like, boom, you're fucking healed. I'm better than a champion. It's so ridiculous. So
it's the interaction with the investigator.
I am just saying, it is nonsense. If this was Magic the Gathering setting,
normally it's only once a day. That's the thing. But with investigator, it's once an hour.
It's bullshit. So anyway, as you figure it out and you pressure point him into being awake, I do have to switch to the entire team. So, as all of you are in your spots, I don't want this one. I want the 5 cam small. We need to be able to see everybody. There is the pins and needles relief from everybody. Even if you didn't think you had it anymore, there's definitely a release of pressure in the area. As a wave goes over and the people come to eating the body parts and start dropping them on the ground. Oh God, and then you start hearing vomiting in train car 1 and 2 of the luxury car. And then in 3, you hear it as well as people panicking and trying to get out. The Earth Guard outside are holding people in who are panicking, saying, don't worry, we'll be right with you. And there's an audible, like, pop, as you can hear Foxglove talking outside to the Eidolon, and it's audible. As soon as it's audible, you know, like, something has went away. The guy's eyes flash open. He goes to open his mouth, and you can see that it is stitched shut, like getting ready to embalm somebody. The jaw's got the staples in it, and the jaw is wired shut. You also can see that there is blood that is starting to form on the chest cavity as you've pulled him out. And he's trying to sit up, but his arms and stuff don't work very well. And he's trying to say something as the nightmare goes away in all the train cars as he wakes up.
So is this bleeding new?
Yes.
Can I roll medicine to give him a chance to stop bleeding?
If you're gonna like unbutton the shirt and open it up, he has been cut open like you would do for the embalming procedure.
Right. So
And he's bleeding through the stitches. And the stitches look fresh. There's no rigor mortis. There's no death around the edges of the wounds. The face is really wounded, like it's scarred and burned. But the rest of him is all new wounds.
Well, I don't want to have gone through all this trouble to save him just for him to bleed out in my car.
And you see Olivia and go, I can turn him.
No. Prith, do you have any healing potions?
Oh, yeah, hold on. And he like runs back in. He comes out with a medical kit that has the Plague Doctor's logo on it. Then he brings out another one that has a True Faith logo on it. He brings another one out that has Vorg symbol on it. Just a collection.
Okay.
Of doctor's bags, whichever one you want to use. They're all totally full. I made sure that every item that was missing from the bags, I've either ordered from a catalog or had somebody go get for me.
Okay. As I'm doing this, I'm looking at the compass.
Don't use the bandages, though, in that one. Those are really old. I don't think they'll hold together, but they are complete sets.
Prith, can you do me a favor? Everyone knows about you as a person. They don't know about you as the dragon. So
sure.
If
you want me to look like someone else, my alter self is quite powerful.
If you either want to look like yourself or your
what do you need me to
form, do? I need you to take this. I can't do anything with this compass right now. If you could take it
do you want me to go find it?
Yes, please.
He grabs the compass, he turns, and he slides the window open and hops down next to Foxglove and the Eidolon. The Eidolon looks at him, he looks at the Eidolon, he goes like this, he's got like a little bowler cap on. And he has a compass, he goes, oh, hello, Foxglove. And he turns around and he goes, now to find that little shit. And he turns around with the compass. And starts walking towards the train cars that Voss and Everston are in.
I'd like to do a quick check. I know insight is not in Pathfinder.
Yeah, it is. It's perception. That's what it falls under.
Perception?
Yeah.
I want to do a perception to see if this is Prith or not Prith.
Good question. Give me a roll.
That is a 36.
This is Prith. He seems very angry. You've only seen him this angry before when he has lost an object of his, because he says every time, and I quote, "I did not lose it, someone took it."
Okay. That checks out.
That tracks.
You have a dragon that has been raised under an investigator that already cares about their hoard. You've made the worst version of OCD on the face of the planet.
I want to remind everybody that the audience voted that Prith should bond to Nora.
Yeah, you should have picked anybody else. Anyway, imagine if Voss would have got a dragon. How amazing it would have been.
Is it familiar? Yeah. I have.
No, we're not there. So, yes, it is Prith. And Prith starts heading towards the dragon. He goes, and he walks towards train car. It would be 3 of the luxury cars, the one next to Voss and Everston that they have not went in.
Okay. Lillian makes note of that and goes, I'll catch up in a moment.
He goes, well, my job is to follow you, and the Eidolon follows after you.
Yes. Oh,
so,
no. She's
Eidolon,
making
Foxglove,
a mental
Prith?
note, like, no. Foxglove is just kind of like, okay, Prith, car 3. Anyways, what she would like to know is, can Olivia leave now?
She hasn't tried yet.
I don't know if she'd want to because of the sunlight.
Fair.
And her Eidolon is walking with you, so she can't get inside the Eidolon like she normally does.
Right.
Because that's how she was able to travel all those episodes in daylight.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna communicate through the Eidolon to go.
Strength 24 played this card.
Something seems to be a little different. Prith just came down here. We're gonna go ahead and head back in to meet you all. If that's all is the same.
I mean, sure.
Okay, well, while you're doing that, I guess I'm doing surgery.
So you're saying that to the Eidolon, to Olivier, to say to Nora? Is that correct? Olivier goes, your hot friend that kills her husband said that she'll be going to the other train car?
I mean, okay. Like, look out the window. Can you see them come through? What does it look like? As I'm
right, because I'm going to lean my head out the sun-blazing window.
I'm not saying look out the window, like put your head out the window. I'm saying like, look.
I could do chest compressions. You go look.
There's no chest compressions. He's literally bleeding out, and I'm stitching him up.
And you see like her fangs out. She's like, no, it's fine.
I can clean up that extra blood.
I'm like working on this guy while I'm talking to her.
Mm-hmm. He smells very good, like burnt, caramelized. It's like caramel that's been on the stove a little too long.
I need to question him.
I can entrance him. I can make this very easy.
Is he Fae? Is this True Blood?
I would prefer for him
Fine,
to.
I'll go look out the fucking window.
I prefer for him to not die on my table.
So she looks out the window. She yells back through the train car. They're going into the dining cars. Your friend looks very angry.
We were going to go back in to get.
You're going in.
Yeah,
I don't see them. I only see your Prith. He just kicked the door off of the dining car.
Is there is it blurry like before?
No, I can see fine now. Oh, I can. She turns the gas.
Well, that's one less person to worry about while I'm trying to save this guy.
And it disappears out the window.
So I assume the Eidolon is now.
He says nothing to you. You guys walk back into the train car. You don't feel the pressure anymore. The body on the ground is bleeding everywhere.
Well, that's why I'm trying. Like, what do I need to roll?
Not yours. The doctor.
Oh, okay.
There's black, thick, old blood all over the ground. Yeah, and Eidolon goes, he's dead.
I'm starting to think that is the case, but
I'm going to go upstairs then. Are you going upstairs? Is that where we're going?
Feel free to reconvene with Olivier.
It's not what I was told to do.
Okay.
I am to follow you. Where are we going?
Well, I guess I was going to go to the car, but I wanted to make sure that we finished
We're
this
in the
first.
car. Where?
I was gonna go follow Prith.
Then let's go. Your friend
Okay.
upstairs can handle whatever it is. Olivier said dead body, her expertise.
Okay. As long as they're together. Did I see Olivier turn to the mist and dip? Okay.
Now you came in the bottom of the car and she went out the top of the car.
Okay. Well, I suppose we can wait until nightfall. That might be a little better to see if she can exit.
We have traveled during daylight for many years.
Yes,
Was not stopped until that unfortunate day.
where she got bound to the car.
No. When she was hit in the face of the piano and near killed.
Oh, I've heard about that.
Our murder spree was glorious.
I'll have to hear more about that later. But
I
yes,
can show you.
Let's head on over to the car and see if Prith needs us to help him find out.
Okay.
Yes?
I will say you get to the luxury train car 3 for the dining car. You see Prith in there, walking through. People are in the way, and he's just slowly moving people out of the way. Not mean, but just like moving them. And he gets to the door that goes into train car 2, and he closes it. And he goes, yes. And he closes it, puts it in his pocket. And he does not turn back. He just slides the door open, going into the middle train car where Everston and Voss are. Everston Voss, the nightmare is gone. Well, the fake one. The real one of people eating people is real. And people are vomiting everywhere, freaking out, trying to flee the train car. The Earth Guard are not able to keep all these people back at this point. Black Cobra is holding his face. Walter's unconscious, or not Walter, sorry. Angela's unconscious. Walter's dead. And he goes, I don't feel very good, is what Black Cobra says. As you see Prith walk in the room in his bowler cap, a nice jacket. He walks in and he goes twice and he turns and he looks to the maintenance, not maintenance, but the waiting area next to where you'd walk in for the food. And he turns and he walks out of sight of you two. And there's the sound of pots and pans. And then past him through the other train car, you can see Foxglove and some briar creature behind that you know as the Eidolon of Olivier.
Right.
What would the three of you like to do before I go back to Nora? As you convene, I'm assuming in the middle train car, in the middle of chaos, bleak, just all hell breaking loose. But the roll earlier was a 19, and the Earth Guard do corral people and get it under control.
I think Lillian kind of walks in and she's one-track mind looking for Prith, and she looks around and she's like, oh.
You would walk by him on the way in. You can see he is throwing stuff out of cupboards. Just pots, pans, anything they would take from the area where food is prepared. He's just tossing the place. Ripping shelves out of the wall.
She's gonna gesture to him and just go, that one's thumbs up.
Everyone in the dining car's panicking and fleeing. They don't give a shit what you're saying right now. Their faces are covered in blood. They ate their family members.
I'm just gesturing to Everston and Voss. I'm just kind of like,
oh yeah, they know who Prith is.
Okay, it's the good one. Okay.
It's the good. Real Prith as he's destroying the train car.
Absolute chaos in the train. She just walks in.
Nora told him to go find his missing action figure.
Yeah, we kind of figured that he's either lost something and he's going to retrieve it, or Nora's given him busy work.
Correct.
He's not this determined.
It's both.
And she'll point over to Headlock Party 3000 over there and just be like, oh.
Technically, not a fake Prith. Can I get a D20 roll from the audience, please, for Prith?
Oh.
And while they're doing that, the three of you convening, are you staying in the train car? Are you going to Prith? What would the three of you like? Oh boy. What would the three of you like to do?
I would like to be done with all of this. Please tell me that you and Nora have made progress.
She found a corpse, and a friend who...
Near corpse. Not quite dead yet.
Technically not a corpse.
Battle medicine.
Sponsored by Battle Medicine.
I'm not dead yet. I think I'll go for a walk.
You're not fooling anyone, you know.
I give up.
In the music.
I give up on this sentence.
No, go ahead. Continue. Welcome to being a GM on the show.
Lillian's just kind of like, yes, found a corpse, but she's trying to save it. Not the corpse that we were aware of, another corpse, and Frith is trying to find a doll. So I'm going to go help him.
Well, Prith is like maybe, because when you walk through, if you've ever been in a train before, there's a gap between the trains when you walk in on a dining car, to the left and to the right. It's kind of like getting on an airplane. There's that little area for the stewardess. This would be for the people who work in the train cars. For dining cars, that's where they hold plates, food, cold storage. Other side is usually warm storage, and then on the other end is usually restrooms. In this case, there's one restroom on the end. He is tossing it, and he grabs something, he turns around, and he's got his hand over top of a doll face, and he's holding the doll. He turns around and looks at Foxglove. Found it.
Fantastic.
He pops the head off of it.
Does it look to be...
It's geysering blood everywhere. He goes, "Argh," and he aims it at you.
Of course he does.
Livian shows up and he's just like... like the opening scene of Blade before he shows up.
It's a fondue fountain of blood.
But he's just pointing away, and you're in front of him. He's, sorry, and he aims it like at the wall.
Just put the head back on the doll, please.
I can't! And you see like a spinal cord and meat.
What is that? Is not a doll. Just put it together. We need to...
Healing potions.
He doesn't bring it with him.
Heal it. Heal it.
He's dead.
Occultism?
Yes. She can't see between the blood spray and the mist.
I'll assist. I was calling for...
Yeah, sure. I'll give the assist. Everston's having the worst day of his life. Top 5. Parents, not the worst. This, worst.
Allie, do you assist?
I have a vampire
Yes.
brother, and this was less shocking.
What does that give
I mean,
you?
that was less shocking.
That was a 28, but it only needs to be a...
You're assisting him. I just need to know what Voss rolled. There's not enough time to like put things together. You are assisting him, so it's not like we can do
no.
who rolled highest.
No, I was just curious what she was doing,
Yeah.
but she didn't crit, so it's just a +1 at that point.
Correct.
Okay, so that's a 45.
When a doll is given a spirit, a lot of times they manifest really strong dolls of witchcraft. It's more like Chucky.
Right.
They become like an actual person. Unless they decide they're the doll, then they're the doll. This is the person that was trying to get away. Prith grabbed it and pulled the head off of it.
Okay.
Because he was going to look in it and be like, is this the doll? Is the doll okay? Is the mark inside the right year and date that it's crafted? And he just...
Hold that thought. And by thought, I mean the body. Aim it away, please.
What's the head?
He's going to take out one of his fettering stamps.
Sure.
Put it on the doll.
If you're gonna like, so he'll put his thumb over the top, like it's a Coca-Cola.
Okay.
I don't really know what he'd do. Just what do you stamp in the face? Like
It's
he's
like
covering the
someone-
face. You'd see the back of the head.
It's like someone slammed a beer bottle on the ground and then you're
Boom, he's
it
holding
on
it
top.
with all their might. This is not
well,
what I
actually,
was going.
I'm gonna use my bullshit and figure out where the soul is, and throw it in a stamp.
Just
Like
give
the
me.
wax
So that
seals.
stuff takes time, but before you do a stamp, give me the fettering lore. And your stamp is probably not going to be strong enough for this situation.
Okay. Fettering lore 40.
Okay. He, with his thumb over it and you looking at it, this is a doll that has manifested and is slowly becoming real. Parts of it still look fictitious, like doll, but he pulled it. I mean, he just yanked it in half, and he's looking inside, and there's this stem. He's like, it seems real. You look at it; it does seem real. If the doll was to make itself kind of like a gargoyle turns into stone, if it was to turn itself into a doll, it'd be back into a doll. Right now, it's a person because it was trying to flee, and to have motion, it has to be real.
Got it.
You're not going to be able to fetter it because it's not dead.
So the blood spouting out.
Not dead. It's not normal anatomy. It's to make it look real.
Got it.
He puts the head back on. He's holding it. It's just geysering inside.
Putting a Mentos in a Faygo can.
Correct. What are we doing, boss? I could melt it.
I mean, it's not dead. Don't do that. It's not dead, and
it's no value to me anymore. This isn't the doll that I bought.
Can I see the face?
Sure, and he rolls it around, and it's hollow. There's nothing there.
So
it's
there's
like
no mask.
So there's a cut where you would put the plate on for the doll that you bought. It's just wood.
Right. I'm gonna look for the mask that it was carrying.
You rummage through the room he's in. Sure enough, your bag's in there.
Okay, check it. Is it in there?
The mask is in there. He has not had time to put it on. I could not get away far enough and get myself a full 3 actions to put the fucking mask on.
Cool. Tie that back to my belt. Like,
that is its face.
It's not its face. It's something else.
The blood finally stops, and it turns back into a doll.
Cool.
Seems fine. Here. It's not mine. Well, not anymore. It's worthless. I'll have to order a new one. And it's dressed in the Lady of the Tides garb, exactly like described in the Nightmare sequence.
So is it the full doll?
It's the full fucking doll.
Does it have the same inscription?
It has the hole in its face where the gem would go for the soul to go in it.
Mm-hmm.
The gem is there.
I think they're asking about the mask.
The mask
is in there.
Right.
The mask he has. That's not out right now.
I've got
Put it
the
back
mask.
Yeah.
You're saying there is a gem in there?
There's a gem in it.
Take that out.
It's not emerald. You would damage it taking it out unless you take it somewhere and use craft. It's not made a plug and play. It's set.
Okay.
You'd be like trying to pry a gem out of a ring.
Gotcha.
Doable, yes.
Oh. So
can we get off this train car? Prith says I don't really like it in here. It looks like you guys had a blood party. He's like waving, and there's like he's already made it worse.
Right. Yeah. It's that's actually not a bad idea. Gov to Everson. Are you ready to depart? Detrain? Get the fuck out of here.
For quite some time now, yes.
Right, disembark.
Disembark. That's the one. Yeah. Lovely.
Disembark. So you all
Nora
walk
says through the open window, 2 cars down.
You all walk out. There's steam stallions here and some of the hounds from the city. Khalid has put a lightning cage around the people that they have corralled from all the cars. She's holding it in place and she's walking around. She's sticking these rods in the ground, keeping them in a corral. And there's like well-to-dos screaming and yelling. And when they're in the middle of doing that, she casts silence in there. She goes, yeah, Venerous, we should be good. And you hear that as you guys are walking by. You have the doll parts, Voss. When you start making your way back to the train and you step onto the train, I'm assuming you're going to Tenwick's office? Is that the game plan for the rest of you?
Uh-huh.
Cool. Upstairs, as the camera slides up to the window height, slides through. I'd like to know what Nora does in the moments before they make themselves back to the office. This is the wrong music for this.
It's definitely the wrong music.
We're going to fix that right now. what would you like to do with the body that is in there? The person bleeding through open wounds from what looks like an autopsy into being embalmed.
I'm gonna try and do whatever surgery I can.
You could try to stitch him up. There's obviously needle and thread in one of these 3 bags that are next to you.
Right.
If you want to just give me a medicine check to try to stop the bleeding, you're not going to heal him, but you can try to stop the profound amount of blood loss.
Right.
Staple guns?
7.
Soldering iron?
But just staples? Just staple them? I staple the antler. I would never staple antlers to the top of the mouse.
That's a 37.
You do stop the bleeding. His eyes are open. He's trying to talk still, but he doesn't seem to be able to because his mouth is wired shut.
Okay.
He's not dying. He's dying, but he's not dead. Like, he's semi-stable. Moving him would be very dangerous to do. He definitely needs some, like, divine help.
Cool. So he's a living creature?
He's not bleeding out anymore.
But is he living? Like,
yeah, he is a living creature. Yeah, 100% a living creature.
I'm not gonna bother messing around with No, I'm gonna go and grab one of the healing potions from one of the kits.
I'll say one of the kits has one in it. It's I'll say it's a minor, just enough to like medically stabilize somebody.
Well, because it's divine, right?
It'll help.
Yeah. So while we're doing that,
he can't really drink right now, though.
No. So while we're doing that, I'm going to take an action to cast Positive Luminance.
What does that do?
Every round, I can use a free action to expand the radiance of light, and then I can eventually focus it into a divine healing. So the symbol of Targ is like glowing brightly enough that you can see it through my shirt.
Okay.
So while I kind of gather that energy up, I'm going to try and undo. Like, is his jaw stitched shut to keep it shut so he can't talk, or was it to help heal it?
To keep it shut, like, because rigor mortis, basically, like or mortuary, you like want the jaw shut to present them,
right?
Because they look really weird and their mouth falls open, their jaw goes to the side. It's not really human looking.
Yeah. So then, I guess since I've
he's professionally prepared, is what I would tell you as a medical professional.
Okay, he's professionally prepared. So at this point, because I was trying to stop all the bleeding and whatnot, as I'm looking at him and gathering up this positive luminance, now do I see anything like on his neck or something? Any tattoos or anything like that? Okay.
Nope. Just burns. It was severely burned face on the left-hand side. His hand is burned on the left-hand side as well. He got blasted from that side.
Okay.
His hair's pretty thin on the one side.
Can I roll society to see what era his clothes come from?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
You hear footsteps coming up the stairs in the train car by this time.
That's roughly. A 28.
I would say pre-sundering, at least 1,000 or more years. 500 to 1,000, I'll say, years pre-sundering.
Does he have any outwardly religious symbols on him that would have belonged to a keeper?
No, none on him.
Okay.
Nothing on him.
Yeah, I'm just gonna let it pass, probably for
You still hear
right, and I get that, but I want to stop his bleeding first.
No, you've stopped the bleeding. He's not bleeding anymore. He's just not in good shape.
Right. Okay. So then, this isn't gonna. Can I do a sense motive to see if helping him out now, like getting his jaw free, would that be safe for me? Like, is he planning on lashing out?
Well, I guess you could give me a perception. It's a pretty
I know it's a pretty
ridiculous
hard
check,
ask.
but we'll go.
I know it's a pretty hard ask. But I'm by myself right now, and I don't know if they're actually coming up or not.
I get you.
7.
You hear
Still,
footsteps. I did
skip
say you
these
did hear
wires.
footsteps coming up the stairs.
But I don't know who that is. So
I think you know this crew's footfalls well enough by now.
I got a 40.
That one sounds like it's booted with an era of this. Like, I think you know.
Yeah.
I hear
I've got a
feathers
40.
hitting the
19
ground.
is stealth. I could be sneaky if I had.
You just monkey crawl across the ceiling.
40.
40. Ill intent, no. Scared, maybe a little bit, actually.
Okay.
He seems
What
more
else could go
frightened.
wrong?
Ooh, and someone did just play a reliquary card. I would say inside one of these bags, there is a powerful reliquary. In the True Faith bag, because that would make sense.
Right, okay.
In case it's needed.
I'm going to talk to him in Kedraic and see if he understands it. I'm like, I am sorry. I'm just trying to make sure that you're stabilized before I try and remove the wires from your jaw. After a couple of rounds, then I would just pour positive luminance into him.
Okay. The wounds would seal. All the cuts for the autopsies are sealed.
Okay.
Oh,
And then-
I didn't expect that to roll for me having it in the sentence.
And then after that, I would slowly start trying to get his jaw unstuck.
24 played this card. Money, 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 money.
That's, are you going to start snipping wires?
Well, yeah, if it looks like if he understands me and I'm like, okay, I'm trying to, and I say, like, I'm trying to free your jaw, please hold still, kind of deal.
Okay, he, when you get the first one out, you can hear him saying something out of the corner of his mouth. A little bit. Nothing great. And you get the next one snipped. What's your name is what he's asking you through his teeth. Like, who are you?
I'm Inspector Tenwick. I'm an investigator and a medical examiner.
You cut another one. Is my name is Darkane.
Thought so.
I see. Well, do you have a last name I can address you by?
That is my last name.
That name has a poor connotation in this area. Is there a different name we could call you by?
My first name, I guess? Can you finish cutting this, please?
Well,
He's like limply moving his hand.
I'm doing it like as we're doing it. Like,
Okay,
I'm
and
not
you
like...
cut the last one off, and he goes, my name is Darkane. I am a descendant of the Keeper of Darkane. That's 30.
I was going to try and stop him before he said that part.
Oh,
But you
are
didn't
you?
give me an option.
Can I get an initiative? I'm fine with that. That makes sense.
Because he
Did
keeps
you
saying,
snip
like,
the
I'm
last one? He
Darkane,
says
I'm
it the second
Darkane.
time, and you're like going to
Yeah.
hold his mouth shut?
Yes,
All right.
kind
Audience,
of. Because I'm
audience,
trying to tell
I
him,
will
like,
let
hey,
you roll
don't
this.
do this.
I have a plus 25. Roll me a d20, audience.
Oh, God. I'm using another hero point. You guys are fired.
And a 6.
fucking
I'm going to
kidding
use a
me,
villain
Amir?
point. An 18. I'll keep that. Yeah, that's great. 18.
Okay.
This is not how I want to. This is not my plan for the night, boys and girls. I got a
He beat me up.
43.
He beat me out by 1. I got 42.
Going up the stairs to close our show out. As you're going up, you hear the doll start to sing. 1, 2, Darkane's coming for you. From the mask in your bag. And there is as you're walking up the stairs, they get longer and taller. Three, 4, we'll do this on our next episode. So, not what I had planned. I didn't expect you to find this fucking body. I have hid this body here for a long time. And it was not in Tenwick's office. It was above. Thank you very much. So, I have to change all my plans for next episode now.
So do we.
I don't.
He's like, nope, have the same ones. Fireball, fireball, sleep. Nora, that one, man. If you could have beat me and closed out that mouth, that would have been perfect. With that said, hey, Nora never fails. First time in history. At least it wasn't a mirror rolling for you.
No, he rolled the 18 for you.
He did roll the 18 for me, though. I was going to use villain points because I saw bears. So with that said, we'll just start with who's below me. Voss, what do you got going on this week? Besides reading up watching all the Freddy Krueger movies, what do you...
God damn it. Not tomorrow.
2 days.
Thursday, Artisan Industry.
Spooky games? You
night.
sure you still want to play spooky games? You can play Mortician's
that
Assistant.
right
It goes hand in hand with today's episode. If you have not played that game, it's fucked up.
This is great. I have a -1 to everything, and I'm down almost everything. This is
Time to find a way to flee. Or go inside your lantern. Nora, you got one more episode left, right? One more vampire episode? Is it this weekend?
Yep.
Last
Yep.
one, season finale.
Yep.
Only question I have for you is, are you going to kill somebody?
I might.
Yeah. Are you a gangrel?
Yeah, but I've been trying to be like playing to my character who actually tries to protect people.
Not House Husbando?
No, not House Husbando. I didn't want to derail the campaign.
Allie
so.
still needs to run our House Husband campaign.
Just let me know when.
Todd, you've designed a new Tide Runner shirt for us. You got anything coming out on your shop?
No, it's been chaos here at my house lately, so I haven't had time to work on anything besides the show stuff. But soon, trademark.
Soon, trademark. Allie, I know you guys are busy in Ladies of D&D. This is in December.
It is, yeah. Tomorrow, because it's Wednesday over here on the East Coast. So starting tomorrow is in December 1st. And on Friday, we're going to be kicking things off with Country Roads Season 2.
Ooh.
So that is going to be a mini campaign. It's going to have Jenna, our Country Roads Ride or Die, as well as Scott Grubbs.
Scott's
Kay
back. Okay, nice.
Yep. Kay will be joining again, and we are also bringing, of course, Vanessa again is joining, and we're bringing in Moxie for this one, reprising her character from the Halloween Not a One-Shot.
Oh, no,
So
yeah, the
it's
one that
gonna
was
be
supposed to be a
fun.
one-shot that was like 18 episodes.
Yeah, but this one's only 3 episodes. It's going to be fine. It's going to be great.
So 9
and
episodes.
Then on Sunday, we'll be back with Outsiders in Ambrica.
And you guys have interviews and a bunch of other stuff going on in December as well, right?
We sure do. We have a whole lot of stuff.
Is there a calendar people can look at or a schedule yet?
There is. I will publish it this week.
I thought you guys already had it. I didn't mean to put you on the spot. I thought you guys already had it done.
No, we've been in a little branding whirlwind. The holidays kind of threw us off, and now we're like, it's this week. It's this week. So finishing touches, and that's all getting rolled out. We should have
Well, let me know if you need guests for anything. I'll see what I can do.
always.
That's it for you guys. Wave, I'm gonna give us our Ethauntia after hour here. Don't worry, it's gonna go smashingly. Maybe.
The way
Ha, Kelly. So everybody, I did not expect this. They did really well. I thought they were just gonna drag the body out. They handled the cars really well. You guys rolled well. The Earth Guard has everyone gathered up. The contagion hasn't spread to the city. The Earth cars can be cleansed. Tenwick's office right now is a pocket palace to Darkane. And right now, those two things, that body, who doesn't know that what he is, he just said he's a descendant of, not knowing how bad that technically is. He knows, but not that saying it is bad. And the doll that is singing, the mask, is not fully together, technically in 3 pieces. A mask, a head, and a body. If those 2 things get together, all hell is going to break loose. Well, all nightmares are going to break loose. So we'll be back, not next week, but the week after, with the craziness. And remember, on December 10th, we'll be back here on Saturday at 2 p.m. for the beginning of Darkest House, the introduction to our Campaign 2 characters. This has been a wild one. It's been a wild season. And thank you all for being here and for the cards purchased and everything else. We're going to do our lovely raid, obviously to Perception Studios. Say hi, tell them that nightmares are real, and we'll see you all in 2 weeks. Bye, everybody. Or not. I could just stand here forever. There we go. Thank you for joining us, everybody. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Check out in December. Check out all the stuff that's going on, and we'll have new shirts for you on our next show.